Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Go until you're out of sight and you're out of my mind. Run when the rhythm's right. Go into the night. Floating as the river flows, easy as it goes to the ocean. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never try. Secrets in your eye, you go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart, heart, breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart, 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 breaks my heart. Lost in the midnight blue, shadows of the moon. Here with open arms for you, feeling something so new. Said with me you'd reach the sun. Oh, but we were so young. Love me till the summer's done, but keep me in your heart, so I hold on. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. So walk on by, I've got no reason to love you, but I do, I do, I do. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. Promise me, but you never try. Secrets in your eye, you go and run, I'll hide. Show me colors of the sky, but all I see is gray. You lost me when you lied. I don't ever wanna be crowned, just another prize. It breaks my heart. Colors of the sky, breaks my heart. All I see is colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. But all I see is colors of the sky. Colors of the sky, but all I see is colors of the sky. All I see is colors of the sky. to the ground now, and somehow I feel like you don't know me. Shook me to the ground now, I don't even know how. Brought me to a life that you never showed me. Coming from a locked up ghost, I'll be your sound. But you're coming from the light. There's more to you than you ever thought there was. Yeah, you're coming from the light.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Resorty, and to you, one and all, I say, hello, friends. Welcome back. Happy Saturday here. Happy Friday there. Hope everything is going just great for you. My green screen is so messed up. What is going on? I didn't change any settings. Oh, no. Why is this happening? All right. So the camera settings must have changed. I don't think I changed any settings overnight. Oh, that's pretty bad. Okay. We'll fix this. We're good. Yeah, I do seem pretty washed out indeed. What on earth would have caused this? All right, quickly. Rog, thank you very much for the resub. I appreciate it. This is the kind of quality stream that you are supporting. Is it a camera problem or a filtering problem? Yeah, you might get to see me completely rebuild my video settings. Okay, so the white balance is off from where it should be. I wonder how that happened. All right, so change the white balance to here. Ah, hello friends. Hello. How did that change? That's weird. Okay, that will work for now. Let's see here. Yeah, this will work for now. Off stream, I'll fix that correctly. That's very strange. That's a change does not normally happen on its own, but good that it's all functional now. A+, yes, my apologies. You never know what you're going to get when you push the go live button here on twitch.tv. It might be good, it might not be good, whichever way, it's all worked out. Again, Rog, thank you for the generous resub. It's good to see you all here bright and early on a Saturday morning. Should we blame Noms? Has Noms been pushing buttons inside the computer room? No doubt. Slivers, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, Pepper. Stan, welcome. Woo, hello. Good to see you, as always. Axix, Quick Ben, a pleasure. Good to see you, Quick Ben. Really. Kibbs, hello, Kibbs. Hello, everyone. So what do I have for you today? It's bright and early here. This morning we slept in a little late, though Noms had a meeting at 8 a.m. our time. She was chit-chatting with someone from the U.S. On your Friday evening and her Saturday morning. She's absolutely nonstop, but we were up and early for that reason, and that was good. And now she's done. She's done with her work for the weekend, so I would not doubt, or would not be surprised, rather, if she came and visited at some point fairly soon. Yesterday, as you know, the big thing in my life was I gave the first exam of the semester to my students, and this exam led to 2 stories I'd like to share with you. Story number 1. Hello, Noms.
I heard myself being talked about.
You are being talked about, yes.
I are being talked about.
You are being talked about.
Hello. So what were you saying about me? I heard Noms is doing this and Noms is doing that.
Yeah, so there are 2 things I'm talking about, and everyone's very glad to see you, of course. Yeah, I mean, 2 things we talked about. Number 1, that you were up bright and early having a meeting with someone in the U.S. And I was saying that it sounded like it was a good meeting, and they seemed to have a good time, and how impressed I was that you work on the weekend and keep this place afloat.
Would I ever not? Would I ever sound like I'm not having a good time on a meeting? Like,
I think I've heard some with the U.S. that seem a little more tense. This time it sounded good. We're all on the same page here, but maybe not. Also, I've heard somebody seem maybe a little disinterested. Like after a certain point, it becomes kind of yada yada yada.
Yeah, like it's like a bazillion people meeting, and here
Yes.
I am, like, why am I even here?
Yeah, ones like that. But no, I think in one-on-one
Oh
conversation.
yeah, because sometimes with some of the meetings, it's like, oh, there goes Jim talking about Jim's favorite issue again. There goes Sally talking about her favorite gripe.
Exactly.
And then everybody sits there and kind of zones out. We've all been in those meetings, haven't we?
Exactly, and you use those meetings to catch up on email usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, for this one though, you sound like you have a pretty good
so
time.
lame.
What?
I use boring meetings to catch up on email. Like that's what I have going in my life.
What should people do instead during boring meetings?
I don't know. Play their Switch.
I mean,
Play Minecraft.
the other day while I was on the Zoom call with my psychiatrist, I did have Crusader Kings 3 up in the background. And I may have looked around the map a little bit, but I didn't actually unpause.
Oh, I will say the person I was talking to looked like they were doing something on a separate screen whilst talking to me.
Oh, really? 'Cause I thought you told me this morning that person would be at their child's soccer game.
No, not soccer game. He revealed that it was actually a robotics class.
Oh!
But something changed with the schedule, and child went to robotics class earlier, so fella was at home.
That's great. Yeah, I think
Chilling at home.
I think I was initially delighted by the idea that you were skipping out on your Saturday morning breakfast and like newspaper time, and he was skipping out on his children's activities for the greater glory of work.
Soccer robotics. What is that? That's called a Rocket League.
Oh yeah. There's Robot Wars where like robots have to take each other apart. I wonder if there are also robot sports of other kinds.
Well, there's the ones where they have to do like a task.
Right.
Like those Lego robotics competitions that are so popular in the States.
Yeah, I don't know much about them at all.
Yeah, I just know that I had friends whose children did it.
I see.
Very popular.
Hello, Apple Tree. How's it going today? Hope you're having a good day for sure. Yeah.
Apples.
The other thing I was mentioning is for some very strange reason, my camera settings got weird overnight, and I changed nothing, and so we were joking, ha 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 ha, that you would perhaps come in and change the settings, or perhaps the cats had done so.
Yeah, with their little paws.
Their
Definitely.
little paws, absolutely. Just like that, absolutely
Just
right.
like that.
Yeah. So that was all I was saying about you. If you'd like, I can gossip about you some more. Did you see what she's wearing? Can you believe she said that?
What?
That noms.
Huh.
So I was planning to tell them about my test yesterday,
Yeah,
but
go on ahead.
but you've already heard these stories.
Oh, that's okay.
Like I tend to do our evening conversations, the dry run of what I'm going to say at the stream in the morning.
That's okay. I can offer commentary.
That's great. That's great. So yeah, definitely. Yesterday we had our first exam of the semester, which was well prepared for, no doubt, and the students were excited to take, no doubt. And two things happened, both of which were absolutely unacceptable.
Oh boy.
One of which was my fault entirely. I really screwed up. And one of which was, we'll call it a student's fault, but I want to hear your comments on the second one. You can comment on both, but the second one especially. So the first one, I made the mistake an instructor should never, ever, ever make, which is I made an exam with a bunch of short answer questions the students had to write on, and then 4 essay questions, and they had to pick one of them. And I spent a long while thinking about all 4 of the essay exams and what kind of things I wanted them to learn and think about and express, and the freedom to write they'd have in each question, etc., etc. And one of the 4 questions, in my head, I said to myself, this is going to be for the creatives out there. If people want to write an interesting story that responds to the work of the class instead of making strong arguments, sure, let's make sure that students who are a little more creatively minded have an option. Unfortunately,
But you did not let them draw a picture. Somebody wanted to know if they could draw a picture.
Oh,
You
no.
said no.
No, that's not true. A student asked me if they could draw pictures to make their arguments. I said, you're welcome to draw pictures, but it can't do all the argument.
Okay.
You have to then offer commentary on it as well. Otherwise, I don't know what it means. Anyway, so one of these 4 questions allowed the student to be creative, and I thought that only the creative students would choose it, and they'd write like interesting and challenging stories, etc. No, I glanced through the exams yesterday, and it appears that more than 90% of the students chose that question. I suspect it's the case. They looked at it and said, "Write a story? That sounds easy."
How did I proofread your exam? I feel like I didn't see this one.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't realize that it was supposed to be creative. Maybe I thought it was like, get an analogy. Make an analogy or something.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll definitely see what happens with it. Now, maybe it's not as easy as they think it is, right? Maybe I will have, like, maybe they will have underestimated what I wanted out of it, and
Exactly.
I will do this. Can I see what the question was? Sure. I'm not sure I'm going to get it literally and correctly.
Do you want me to go get it?
No. I thought about bringing all the questions out, but that's too much reading on stream, and what this stream is never a reading stream. Right. So the question was something of the form, in this course we read The Allegory of the Cave, which is a story about human growth, and a story about how societies grow, and things like that, and the obstacles to this, and the challenges to this, and the possibilities of growth. Right. And so I said something like, please explain this story in terms of some other element or story or media or whatever about your life or your culture. Along the way, show how the kinds of elements of the allegory could be reframed or applied to the story that you're telling. And I then said, like, in what ways is this a useful analogy? How does your story better this, that, and the other thing?
So what were you expecting to get then? What was your ideal answer?
And there were a few other parts of the question about, like, critique and argue and da-da-da. But,
I guess I realized that I read the question much as your students did, and I didn't think anything of it, apparently. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I mean...
what were you expecting to get?
I expected, so I haven't looked at their answers yet, so I'm not exactly sure what they did. But I expected them to, take time to frame their story along the terms of the initial allegory, but not just do a straight one-to-one correspondence.
Oh,
and
okay.
It's possible I didn't indicate that well enough. But I think what they've done is just like one-to-one correspondence all the way through, bingo, bango, we're done, thanks.
Yeah, or did you want something like, in the world of Rimworld, there are people, and then they live on, they crash landed, and they live on this place, and they have to muddle their way through.
No.
And sometimes there are large elephants, and there are raids, and things.
I mean, maybe, right.
And this might be understood in terms of the allegory thus. Like, is that what you were expecting?
I mean,
or wanting?
Maybe. I mean, what I wanted, I think, is, and now I don't know exactly how to phrase this question, so I'm not sure I'll be able to, like, say it precisely, but what I wanted was for the students to, yes, write a story of their own that did a similar kind of work, right? A similar kind of allegorical structure about growth and development.
Yesterday, I walked outside, and it was sure dark. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I had my sunglasses on. So I removed my sunglasses, and now I could see everything so clearly.
Yeah, but
and
like...
it burned my eyes, but now I am better for it. Like, is that what the sort of thing you...
I mean, this is my worry. My worry is I didn't say, like, it needs to be a good story. I don't know. Like I said, like, I'm not in any way saying I did a good thing here. I'm saying I did not plan for this correctly. My sense of what I wanted did not get across correctly. Yeah, because I wanted them to write their story and then compare their story to the allegory and then show why their story is a better way of explaining human experience or their experience or something about societies or otherwise. I don't know what I got, but that every student except for 4 or 5 chose that one means I made a tremendous mistake of some sort. Because the other 3 questions were very cool. Any more commentary often on what a bad teacher?
I mean, it may just be the case that question was about a topic that they remembered the best. Because
Maybe.
I think the last 2 seemed a little difficult. Or very, like, focused on, like, what you did in the last week.
I have no idea.
I think.
I have no idea.
Those were both Utopia questions.
Yeah, not sure.
And then I don't know what the other one was, but it may have been like, oh, Allegory of the Cave. I remember that one.
Yeah,
I can write about that.
No, maybe. And like I said, I write a new exam every semester, right? I don't reuse questions, even though we're quite good, because I don't want the students to just memorize the old exam from the prior semester.
Why not?
Because it undermines what I'm trying to do in the classroom of having them think and consider and so on. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, this is definitely a failure by me, and there's no apology.
Oh, no.
There's no justification. It's just me admitting my foibles before the stream here. Let me say thank you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Pardon me, Chip Lorone. Thank you for the generous Prime sub. Hello to Riz and Noms. There we go. We wave. It's very nice. They're all enjoying your stories, by the way.
Yeah, my one about wearing sunglasses.
That was great. It was quite the surprise. I did not see it coming. It was a big twist for sure.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I was gonna your test. Oh yeah, when I used to teach Latin though, I would totally give them the old test. And if with the intention, like if they, I would change things about it, but at the same time, if they memorized the answers to the test. That is what I wanted them to be able to do on the test. So because it's a skill based.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah. So
because it's a skill based, by doing that you learn the skills that you need to do on the test.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. Right. And I think content classes, especially ones where like what I want is not just memorizing the content, but instead applying it in various ways. Making sure they are asked to apply in new ways is important to me.
It's important to me too. I think some teachers think it might be asking.
That's fun. I'm okay with being too hard of a professor. I'm not too hard of a professor.
Oh, we're in trouble. I gotta go.
You can say no. Hi, Slivers. Thanks for asking about the board games. Nope, haven't played any of them yet. All good. Slivers is well aware that when Slivers asks questions about board games, the answer is always no. Like, we make big promises, we make big claims.
And we're very excited. It's just then it feels overwhelming to look at the giant instruction packet or look at a YouTube video that's like 20 minutes long and have to learn it.
Yeah, and so I think often when we have some free time, we tend to choose ways of filling it that are less immediately intimidating. Is that right? Yeah. So like the book is sitting here, and I want to read my book, and that involves picking it up and left to right, left to right.
I know how to do that.
Exactly right. Where I think many board games that are more complex than Monopoly require one to really sit down and strategize and think through and
just learn the rules.
Yeah, sure. And that's what I do for you all 6 days a week, as opposed to for fun.
I just realized that I told my students that I didn't know how to read when I got to college yesterday.
That's good. That's true. Yeah, I mean.
Well, I mean that. Yeah, you know what that means, but I'm wondering if they were now sitting there going, wait, she didn't know how to read?
Yeah.
When she got to college? What kind of college did she go to? No wonder she got bad grades.
I mean, my second class of the semester is always called How to Read and How to Argue.
Yeah.
And I begin by saying, when I started in college, and for many of you, I and you do not know how to read and do not know how to argue.
Yeah, I didn't really explain what I meant.
Oh, you just said I didn't know how to read.
I said, I didn't do well my first semester because I didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to read. High school was easy. You just do your homework in the other classes, and I didn't really have to work. And then I got to college. I didn't know how to study. I didn't know how to read, and so I did badly.
Yeah.
And so I realized that they might have thought that maybe I didn't know how to read, period.
I mean, have you noticed that when people speak in chat here, I'm the one who reads it out? Illiterate. Completely illiterate. Oh, very good.
How do I do email?
How do you email? You dictate.
Maybe I have it, read it to me?
Yes, and you dictate back.
Uh-huh.
It's very nice. This is why you prefer to work from home, because that way no one hears your secret shame of being illiterate.
Yeah, I just sit there and I go like this all day, and they think I'm doing something.
That's right. You're just playing the piano, actually, or keyboard catting, perhaps. Da, 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 da. Yeah, very good. Daniel says you love how Latin sounds. Yeah, back in grad school, I had a friend who said that his teacher taught him how the Romans really spoke. And you said this is actually like a live debate in the field because no one's quite sure.
Yeah, it is, but one that not very many people are frankly interested in, but yeah.
Yeah. And so when he would read in Latin, he sounded like Yoda.
Yeah.
The exact same like intonation and rise and fall and enunciation. And I was in class with him learning Latin, and it was frankly embarrassing. It was frankly embarrassing to listen to him read, and we'd all laugh, and he'd just keep going and be like totally serious of like, this is what a population of people who took over most of Europe sound like. like Yoda. Carpus Garnum the Canum. It's ridiculous, right? Absolutely ridiculous. Is that right? Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
So other stories about my exam yesterday.
Yeah, you said you had 2 stories. That was one
the first story is I'm bad at making exams and just lose my ability to teach.
Okay, I can arrange for that.
That's fine. More time to stream. Hooray. Number 2. Thank you for the help with the 2. Number 2.
No, what did you just do to our British viewers? Oh.
Number 2.
Banned off Twitch.
You're in quite the mood today. Yeah, absolutely. Number 2. As some of you know, I have some students who are not exactly the best in yieldy attendance or in the note-taking. And so I had some suspicions about how they would do on the exam. But they were all there, had 100% attendance rating yesterday, except for one student who's out sick, but fine, whatever. And yeah, the students who were not there much at all decided the best way to do well on the exam was to ask me a lot of questions during the exam. And I'm a professor who wants very much to help students succeed. And so, if they raise their hand and they say hey, what's this word mean? I'll give them synonyms usually. If a student raises their hand and says, on this question, I don't understand exactly what you're asking. Would you rephrase it? Happy to do so, no problem. One student in particular, though, decided that he would ask a clarifying question on basically every single part of the exam. And he was a native English speaker, so he was not someone who needed a lot of help with language. Instead, the questions he was asking were things like, what was the big one? What actually got me the most? Right. On this question, you say I can't use examples from the study session or that you've mentioned in lecture. But on this question, you didn't. So I'm going to use examples from lecture, okay? And I just stared at him. And I said, you're correct. I did not say you couldn't do it. But it was clear that he wanted to do the least possible work. And it felt like if I do not give him a very good score, he's going to try to come and nickel and dime me into a better score. And I find that enraging. Because like Jim said, it was all trying to get context clues and would you tell me a little bit more about this question? And, really with this question here, are you referring to this or to that? And I'm like, whoa. So I felt like if I wanted to answer his questions, I would need to also stop the class and tell everyone these answers to get to an even playing field.
Yeah.
And usually, I don't want to make a big deal in the class, especially during exams, right? Because other people are focusing and studying and so on.
Yep.
But genuinely, 8 times in the course of an hour, boom, question. And with the last ones, I was considering saying, this is excessive, right? This is enough. I see what you're doing here. But I didn't want to make it weird for the students around him. Have you had that happen before?
Nope.
Yeah.
Nope. I had a few questions in my exam, but it was really sweet. One of them, before the exam started, they said, okay, so for the essay, should I write an intro?
Yeah.
And I said, no, don't worry about it.
Don't waste time with formalism, yeah. No.
And then, so later on, one student raised his hand and he said, so you said we don't have to write an intro. Should I write a conclusion? And I said, no. And I think enough students heard me that I didn't need to repeat that for everybody.
Yeah.
That was one that I thought about saying, maybe everybody should be told, I don't care about that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's strange.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's because some instructors have marked them down for not having a formally structured essay.
Yeah.
But in the case of, in the case of an assignment like this, where you're in class exam only so much time, the idea of spending time in this essay, I will argue that, and by arguing that, I will show. Oh, good lord, can you imagine?
Yeah, just get right to the point.
And then there's the funny story, and this is funny for us, but not funny for the student involved. So, like I said, in the essay section, there were 4.
Story 3. This story 3.
It is story 3. I thought I only had 2 stories, but one came to mind. As I said, there were 4 possible essays to choose from, right on one. At the beginning of class, I wrote 5 pieces of information on the board for the students. One was, you're welcome to leave when the exam's done.
Because I had a student in my exam who just sat there, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I think it's common in Japanese contexts.
This was an American student.
Was it? I have no
Yeah.
idea then. Yeah, no idea.
He was playing on his phone, so I was like, can you not be on your phone during the exam? And then he's like laid back and was sleeping, and I said, oh, are you done?
Yeah, I've had students do this in prior semesters. They haven't taken things out, but they just kind of sat there and stared forward. And when I saw this happen the first time, I thought it was a person having a panic attack or like being dismayed at how
Yeah.
poorly they're doing. Oh gosh, well, I'm rethinking my life right here. And then at the end of the class, they came and turned in the assignment, and I stopped and said, "Hey, are you doing okay?" And I explained what I just said to you, and they said, no, I was just waiting for the period to be over. Okay. Yeah, so it said, you're welcome to leave when the class is over.
Yeah.
Please write only one essay. Don't panic. And a couple other things up on the board. And I said, as they were coming in, please read the board. And then once they were all in, I read the board aloud for them, including the one that said, there are 4 essays, pick one and write one. At the end of the semester, end of the class rather, a young woman came up and said, I didn't finish. And I said, wait, really? This seemed like a shorter exam to me. And she said, yeah, I only got through 3 of the essays.
Oh boy.
Ah!
Did you make her select which one you wanted?
I did. I
she wanted to
said,
grade?
of the 3, pick one for me to grade, and whichever one is your strongest one, I will grade. And I feel so sad. I feel so sad that that she probably rushed through a whole bunch of work to try to get it all in. But I mean, it says on the paper also. On your good advice, I bolded the sentence on the paper that says, "Choose and write only one." So I'm actually not sure what more you can do. Yep.
Well, I mean, I think I've done this before, but I don't do it because I want to maximize their time. But sometimes I will go through section by section and say, here is what this section is. Let me read the directions. Here is the next section. Let me read the directions.
Yeah. I mean, I realize, like, I'm spending a bit of time complaining about students today. I don't mean to do that. Like, I love students. I love teaching. It's all very good. But occasionally they set up obstacles for themselves that I wish they wouldn't.
What about story 4? About you told them to come prepared with.
Oh, yeah. I said the only thing you need is a pencil or pen. One student in each class did not come with a pencil or pen, had absolutely nothing. And so raised their hand and said, hi, do you have a pencil or pen? And I said, nope. And so we had to go scrounging about with the students nearby.
Yeah, they should use the dry erase markers.
I considered it. Actually, I considered giving the dry erase marker because that's a very like tiny tip at one end.
Oh, you have you're in a smaller room.
So you could probably hold the dry erase marker in a way to write a little bit, but...
So you're in my classroom next semester. Let me warn you that we have the thick dry erase markers in that room, which are like that big around, but then the point is like rather thick. So when you write, it's rather thick.
I mean, that's probably good for my handwriting, because with a smaller nib, that's the word I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to, with a smaller nib, I tend to, like, have very small, like, letters that are collapsed in on themselves, and the students say, can't read. But, yeah, it might be good to try that, or I'll go buy my own and cart them around with me.
Yeah, those classrooms have a thicker pen because they are designed to be seen from a camera if you were zooming your class.
Right, they're these hybrid classrooms that are meant for in-class students in the room and then also on the camera.
And they realized that people could not see the smaller pens.
That makes sense,
So now, you have to write with a giant comic pencil.
Yeah, you had a giant.
You have to go like this.
You had a giant comic pencil you used to use to offer when a student needs one. That's awesome, Kibbs. I might get one of those. I might get a giant pencil to force people to use it.
I can't believe they asked you. Like, they don't have any friends in class?
I don't know if it was a case where they don't have any friends, which, if so, very sad. We should invite them over for dinner.
Why do you want to invite everybody over for dinner?
Or if instead it was a situation where they worried that if they were talking to someone else, it would look like they were colluding on answers or something.
Oh, like the test
now, it was before the exam began, but yeah. I forgot. During the exam, one of the students called me over and said,
Robzilla, I totally get it. I totally get that. Yeah, go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, sorry, just taking over your stream.
Co-streaming is weird. This is why I don't ever co-stream, because I don't know when it's my turn to talk. Okay. Right, a student called me over and said, Professor Zordi, may I get my water bottle from out of my bag? I said, sure, of course, go wild, no problems. And so they opened their backpack, and they got stuck, and they, like, pull hard, got open all the way. And then I heard them rooting around inside of there. And I was like, wait, what are they doing? And they pulled out a bag of chips and a couple other things as well. And then this absolutely ginormous water bottle went thunk. I was like, you're setting up for a picnic. What's going on? So... and actually, when they brought the bag of chips out, I immediately got worried that maybe they'd like written something inside of it or something.
Really?
Because
I was worried, oh gosh, that's going to be so loud for the other students.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I've said before, I tend to trust students, but it's always this moment when when a student asks for one thing and then does something else, I get confused. And so I'm wondering, okay, why is this different than what you said it was going to be? So it was a weird moment for sure. Hello, Phoenix. The thumbnail for the stream is funny. Part of Nom's head is just poking up. Yeah, there's Nom's. Yeah. I mean, I think you're largely in frame today. That's pretty good.
Yay!
All right. Any other stories you'd care to tell?
No.
Hello, Arid.
What I enjoy about the students here is that they all have like pencil cases. Even the American students have like pencil cases and independent erasers, not like the terrible rubbery one on the plasticky one on the end of the pencil that like just smudges. They have like a separate eraser that they use, and
Yeah, the stationery cartel is a big deal here.
Oh, yeah. When I was telling, yesterday when I was talking about materialism and acquisitiveness, I was talking about how, like I'll get a pen, and then I'll see that there's another pen that has another feature, and so, man, would I really like to have that pen, and then, there's another pen that has 6 pens in it.
Yep.
And some of my students nodded knowingly, so.
Yeah. I think I'm always struck when we go to the pen store where I say, like, hey, I'd like the bag of pens that has 10 of them in and costs, like, $2 for good thanks. And for you, it's often like, oh, let me try this one, and let me try that one, and I'll try this one. And, like, you're looking for something that I don't understand how to find. Yeah. And you've described to me about being like the feel of the pen in your hand and the weight you have to present to.
Oh yeah, like you don't recognize that with some pens your handwriting looks better than with other pens.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, I absolutely do not feel that, do not notice that. Yeah. I just need the ink stick. And the ink stick, thumbs go, good to go.
Now you say this, but then sometimes, like, remember when we were buying a dish rack? Rizordi goes up and he's like, I like that one. And the one that Rizordi likes is the one that is like much more expensive than all the other ones. And I'm like, but Rizordi, this one that's like only 400 yen does the same function as the one that costs 4,000 yen, which is the one you like.
Yes. So I think that the difference here between the pen and the dish rack is the dish rack is a buy one-time item, where the pen is a consumable item, at least for me. And so I think it's the case that the reason I wanted that dish rack is because it's made out of like some kind of metal that seemed more resilient to the world, where the cheaper one seemed made out of kind of flimsy plastic that I can imagine snapping fairly quickly. And then you have to buy more and more and more of these.
Yeah.
So I think that's always my distinction is it a buy for life or long term or buy for short period?
I buy my pens for life. They're refillable.
It's true, and you do refill them, and I'm very impressed. But yeah, no, the problem I have, as you know, and I've probably mentioned here before, is I lose pens all the time. Since I've been a very young child, or since I was a child, this is just a habit I have. I don't mean to. I think very seriously about my things, but I think it's often like the pen will be on my desk at the front, and then I turn to talk to a student, and then as we're talking, we walk out of the room. And I do my standard check, maybe you do this also, where I strike my pockets to determine, do I have my phone, do I have my keys, do I have my wallet? Boom, 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 3 strikes, got all the things. Don't do a strike for the pen. That'd be a strike there also. Maybe it's become a 4 strike.
I just take all my stuff, and then I turn around and I look at the desk to make sure I haven't left anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good idea. But like I said, I tend to be looking at my students, and because there's people coming in after me, I want to go with the students. I don't mean to say you're doing anything wrong. I just mean to say that I myself do it this way and screw things up.
Yeah, I think usually I talk to the student until they're done. The teacher after me is quite nice and understanding about it. If I think it's going to take longer, I'll say, hey, can you wait out in the hallway? I'll be with you.
Yeah. That's how it goes, though. But yeah,
Yeah.
I strike my pockets a lot.
Yeah, you're not the only one. I've seen a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just feels I don't know how I learned to do that. I don't think my father did that.
I think one of our faculty members has like a whole routine. Like this goes in this pocket, this goes here, and this goes in this pocket. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
is that faculty member OCD-ish?
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know his diagnosis, yo.
I mean, if it's who I think you're
He doesn't
talking
have
about,
to share it with me.
then yes, I think he is. But I think like when it goes from being a quick check to an explicit routine, I tend to assume that, but maybe not.
It is an explicit routine,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
cannot be interrupted.
Yeah. Have either of us ever caught a cheater? Sure. Yeah, I think we both have in various ways. Back,
I don't police my tests terribly.
yeah, I don't either. I'm not someone who like constantly walks around the classroom.
Ugh.
Like I will.
Sorry if you do that. Sorry about my dismissive.
I will move around the classroom just because I don't like standing at the front or standing at the front and like just being in one spot the whole time. I like getting up and stretching my legs while reading, but no, I'm not someone who really like, what are you doing? That said, back in graduate school, I was doing a logic exam, and there was a young woman who spent the entire period looking at her lap as if it were more interesting than anything else, and so it was such a blatantly weird way of looking that I said, okay, I've got to go check this one out. And so I walked back there, and yes, indeed, splayed across her lap, she had 4 sheets of paper with all of the theorems and validity rules and everything else for the entire logical system. She reduced all of formal logic down to 4 pages of notes.
You would think that in the process of making such notes, that she would have learned it.
Yeah. And so that's the only time I've ever called out a student in a classroom setting. The other cheating I found has been plagiarized papers and so on. But yeah, it was such an awkward moment because like I saw what she was doing and she saw what she was doing, and while looking, other students saw as well. And so I said, I'm sorry to interrupt, but may I have what's on your lap? And she took them and put them away and put it in her bag and said, there's nothing on my lap. And I said, no, you're going to give me those papers you just put in your bag. And she ultimately did. And I said, you're welcome to finish the exam now, but we're going to need to talk after this is done. And it was such a blatant, a series of blatant activities and events that still to this day strikes me as being like out of a sitcom or out of a movie as opposed to a real thing that would happen. But it was a little crazy.
Yeah, it was really nice that you let her finish. I think I would have just taken all of it and been like, okay, look, the exam is over for you. I'll be back in touch.
I mean, with something like that, it's clear she's going to fail that exam. There's no way that I can unsully what's happened, because this was like 3/4 of the way through the exam period, maybe at least halfway. And so...
Oh, no, I'm not saying I would have given her those points. It's
okay.
like I probably would have just given her either an F on the exam or said, okay, you'll have an opportunity to take a fresh exam, but it's going to be under a monitored environment.
Yeah, I mean, what it was in this case is I said you can continue just 'cause I didn't want to like order her to leave the room. She was getting a failure either way. I don't think I implied to her, and now you get the points. Yeah. In that case, I failed her for the course, and she'd already left the country. This was a summer session. She'd already left the country, and I told my chair what had happened. And he's like, if she's left the country for summer vacation, it's probably hard to get to talk to her about this. So I'm not sure we can actually use the plagiarism process and the cheating process if we can't meet with her. I was like, wait. I'd like to formally say there's been cheating here. And for a brief period, he's like, maybe we should let this one go. Like, no.
Well, he was kind of an exceptionally lazy chair.
He was profoundly lazy. Yep, he was the one who would fall asleep in dissertation meetings and faculty meetings and in his office. And like I've mentioned before, he was blind in one eye, and so his eye would be open on the side closest to the door when you came into the room. And so you'd say, oh, he's just looking at his desk, and then you'd hear the snoring. So... Hey, Caesar, how's it going? Do you have any recording of my lectures? You enjoy watching Stanford lectures on YouTube? No, I don't have any recordings of lectures. I keep saying I'm going to do it eventually. I think the hard thing for me though is there's a back and forth cadence in many of my lectures. Like it's not just me blah blah blahing, but instead I ask the students for examples or for explication or to restate what I've said in a different context. And that's kind of hard for me to get if it's just me standing here. I've thought about trying to make some lecture videos at various points because I do enjoy teaching and sharing ideas. That said, it takes time to do that well, and if I'm spending time making YouTube videos, it should probably be the the YouTube series, which is coming any day now. Hello.
We're all staring at you.
I'm aware. I would like the staring to stop.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I don't know if maybe they stopped staring at you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
no one's watching. No one's watching.
Okay.
People are playing their video games. They're like, all right,
Okay.
talking man, just keep talking. That's what I'm here for, is just keep talking for hours and hours on end. Anyway.
Oh, is there an ad coming up?
There is an ad coming up right soon. Yep, 50 or so seconds. That's how this thing works.
Oh, okay.
When that ad comes, should we say goodbye and get on to the video game?
I guess so.
Unless you have stories you'd like to tell. Hey, Casimia, it's so good seeing you, my friend. Are there stories you'd like to tell or anything else, or should we do some Rimworld?
I have stories I need to...
Yeah, what's happened in your life that's exciting? You're making some hires. You're hiring a new assistant
I'm
dean. That's exciting.
I'm trying.
Because the old assistant dean stopped working.
Now, what a lazy bum.
He's not lazy, he's dead.
Yeah, that's what he said. Oh, I am dead now.
I shouldn't
And
have
really,
made...
he's just hiding out in rural Japan.
So I shouldn't have made such a crass joke, but I feel like it's become even worse in the past moment or two. Would you mind turning off the heater? I feel a little warm in here now, and I'm beginning to sweat. Where I teach, I take my jacket off. Hey, Axix! Axix, thank you for the 5 gift subs on this lovely Rimworld Friday. Kurt, it's good seeing you. What's up? Unspeakable. Kai and Big Sombrero.
Big Sombrero.
All you all enjoy ye old emotes, and that's right, Axix. Freedom from Az. Congratulations on beating that thing.
Ooh.
Thank you, Axix, a bunch. Is Noms the dean of the school? Provost, head of the faculty. There's a...
So that's no. No.
No, she's not. So, she
I'm just like, there's an easy way to answer that question. Is no.
Right. I should answer the question asked. I think the further comment I'm offering there is that the deans tend to run one kind of faculty, like scientists or philosophers or English people or whatever, where you run all the faculties. Yeah. This is me talking you up.
Thank you.
Gosh, you're impressive.
Thank
Hey, Gibbs and Britches, thank you for the resub, and here comes a joke, I believe. Why were the Star Wars movies released in the order of 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3, and then 7?
Why?
Yoda was in charge of the sequencing.
Remember when you used to have a little bot read that out?
Number 1, Kibbs, thank you again. That is true. Yoda can't decide which way is up. It just goes in weird order. I think I saw a linguistics paper some years back that tried to come to understand Yoda's transformation rules on standard English.
Sure. Verb last.
But it wasn't consistent.
Oh.
There was some modification they found past that.
Was that just like depending on how Frank Oz felt that day?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. And then what did you say? You said something I wanted to respond to.
Oh, the little voice that reads out things.
Yes, we used to have text-to-speech lady. What do we name her? It was like text-to-speak Susan, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I want to objectify or personalize our objective person. The problem is that some viewers got kind of naughty. And not with like vulgarity. We're too refined for that kind of naughtiness. One viewer in particular attempted to have text-to-speech ladies say the most syllables possible.
Yeah.
Right. And so she would say various versions of 7 over and over again, and the word 7 is the longest of the numbers when said aloud, the basic numbers. And so he would have her say like 700 trillion, 777 billion, etc. Right, and it was like 2 or 3 minutes to get through a a sub,
Oh.
right, and like there's not the only person, one person, but yeah, this is why we can't have nice things, is because that viewer abused it, and so now no more text speech promises.
no more.
Instead, though, I read them out and I say thank you, and
That's
yeah, why would you want text to speech Susan when you have a text to speech Resorty?
that's right.
You
I'm sleepy.
you sound tired suddenly.
I'm
You were having a good time, you were keeping your energy up, and now it's just gone. I've got to maintain this for another few hours.
I think it's because I have Zoom meetings in the.
Yep.
I had a Zoom meeting the other day in the morning too when I came in and I was.
I'm sorry to hear that. Is it time for a nap then? Yeah. All right. I'm going to go ahead and play some video games now.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all for hanging out while we've been having our lovely opening conversation. Now it's just you and me, and Nam's head is on the table, and I'm going to move slightly this way. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Rimworld Friday portion of the show. Hello, Jay Brown. What time is it in Japan? 9:30 a.m. Yeah, it's not that early anymore, but Noms has been up for a while and working for a while. Everyone says bye.
Bye.
Bye, Noms. Are you going for a run?
I don't know.
Okay,
I
well,
do some work.
have a good time. Have a good time for sure. All right, today we continue our brand new Rimworld playthrough. This is a playthrough I'm pretty excited to continue playing. That's the wrong button. It's this button instead. Sorry. There we go. And we started this one last week after playing one Rimworld playthrough for months and months and months, and it all fell apart. This one, though, has not yet fallen apart, nor shall it. Honestly, I don't recall what we were doing last time, but we'll remind ourselves very quickly. And yeah, thank you really for, hanging out with Noms and for enjoying the conversation. So what we're seeing is that we have a raid coming immediately. A group of wasters from the Psych Pests. Hello, Enrique. Yeah. No, I do remember this character. Enrique the Brawler. And you hear Brawler and you think, oh wait, why does that Brawler have a gun? Brawlers are fist fighters. What's going on? But yes, he is in fact a genie, which means if he takes any damage at all, he collapses. And so they gave him a ranged weapon, presumably because in melee, he's just getting knocked over right away. So this would be a great character. The Brawler is always a fun thing to have on someone with strong melee, but surely not on a wimp. So this is our first raid of the playthrough, our very first time being challenged in that way, and so we'll deal with that pretty soon. This, though, is our little base. It's just getting started. You'll see I've put out some spots for roads, I do believe. We have a initial little bunker there, little barracks there rather, some nice starting rooms here. This is supposed to be our freezer. Instead, it's currently full of 2 prisoners, and I believe I wanted one of them to join as a, I don't remember now. One of them join as a colonist and maybe one as a slave. Because in this playthrough, we're doing all the awful things that I never, ever, ever do. Most notably, slaves and drugs and all the rest. But this base is made up of people who are Neanderthals. These Neanderthal heaters are big old clubbers, hopefully getting quite good at brawling as time goes by. We're not doing a melee-only playthrough intentionally, but for right now, our characters are better in melee. And then there's Murky up here, and Murky has no fighting abilities at all, so she's in charge of keeping track of the base. Hello, Fernandez. How's it going? Future proof. Did I hear that Civilization 7 has been announced? Really? I mean, on the one hand, I'm not surprised, because you can just keep adding one more number forever, and so I suspect before we're dead, it'll be Civilization 75 or so. But I don't know. Have they added innovative features in the most recent Civilizations? Like, I honestly didn't play Civ 6 at all. I played Civ 5, but it was fine. I enjoyed it. Yeah, what was the big improvement from Civ 5 to Civ 6, other than better graphics? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go ahead and deal with this raid, and then we'll figure out what's going on past that. Districts is the big addition. Okay, I don't recall what districts are, so no doubt it is huge. Oh, our colonists are heading towards a ritual spot. Right, so as this person's coming to attack, we're in the midst of setting up one of our characters as a new role. And so I definitely should stop this and fight, but okay, he's wandering for right now, so we can ignore that. I took edition of Endless Legends. Okay, I don't know Endless Legend, unfortunately, but District's the new thing. Cool, thank you. We'll see what Civ 7 adds. We'll see if we play it on stream. Like I said, I enjoyed Civ 5, but I think the entire time I was playing it, I was saying things like, sure do wish this was a Paradox game. It's fine. It's good. I played Civ 1 way back in the days and really enjoyed that a lot. Spent way too many hours going just one more turn over and over again. But I think I sort of dislike the persistent leader thing, where George Washington lives forever, as opposed to going through different characters of different or the same culture. Which say I'm a Paradox fanboy. All right, the conversion is complete. And Murky here will now become not just an evangelist by title, but she is indeed the club chaplain of our people. And that is a cool title for our purposes, because this chaplain role, the social role, allows her to tell people directly the good news of our faith, that is the faith of the club, to make them more likely to want to be like us. So we'll use the convert button here and attempt to convert this person here, who is only about 48% sure of his current religion. Over here, Emily is much, much higher. And while she's doing that, we'll invite the other two characters to go ahead and head out and fight. We'll see, we'll see. You think I'd like the game Endless Legend? It's something to check out when it's something new. So what kind of game is Endless Legend? Given there's districts, I'm assuming it's something base buildy or colony buildy. But if you give me a 1 or 2 sentence description of Endless Legend, what is it? Okay, that guy's coming on down. We're going to run across this way and try to attack him from the south side here. I should have moved a little bit faster, but I think this is the way to go. Maybe not. He's only a 1 in shooting, so I'm actually just going to mad dash at him, and surely nothing will go wrong with this. So we attack like so. Oh boy, he's going to hide, getting behind some rocks, run. All right, Pepper did get shot, unfortunate. This guy dodges once then, outrageous. So he actually did more damage than I thought he would. I thought he'd go down and get knocked out very quickly, but no, he actually died immediately. So Abernathy, some little bruises, Pepper shot twice. You're just fine though. Don't you worry, Pepper. No concerns, not even a little bit. And look at that, 1 smoke leaf joint. So the great thing about this smoke leaf joint is that Murky here is chemically fascinated. So by not having the drugs at all, they're very, very, very unhappy. I want more drugs. Give me drugs. We're gonna ask Murky to go ahead and smoke this smoke leaf joint, and that will remove that mood malice very quickly. We also are creating our very own smoke leaf here, which will be very nice for the near future. What is not nice, though, I just noticed we have no finished meals, and we have no raw materials. And so someone, probably me, should have been making food last time, and we just didn't do that. So we could engage in, the cannibalism, but I think I'm opposed to that kind of thing in this playthrough. Or at least our ideologian has nothing to say about the goodness of eating the humans. So we'll go ahead and dig out these berry bushes real quick and see how much food that gives us. Not terribly much. Endless Legend is a 4X like Civ, but highly customizable factions. Battle happen on a turn-based map. Oh, that's cool. That's very, very cool. Yeah, I absolutely love the idea of a turn-based map strategy game. I've never seen one, never played one. I think it'd be really cool to do so. Unfortunately, because we need food straight away, we can either hunt for a bunch of berries quickly, and I'm not seeing any big patch, there's some little ones down here, or we can go ahead and fight some kind of animal. So what animals are nearby that might be easily fought and easily consumable? Well, everybody's favorite, the chinchilla, is right in base, hanging out with a dead genie. We'll go ahead and invite it to have some dye. After that, there are alpacas, there are monkeys, all these little animals that Abernathy and Pepper should be able to fight, and that will help them to also increase their melee skills to an ever more respectable level. Alright. Did Pepper get healed up yet? Nope. No infection, Pepper. I believe in you. Hey, good job, Pepper. So why did Pepper not yet get healed up? Pepper's on job 1 doctoring, but probably is not on self-tend. That would do it. Hello, Daigle. How you doing? Talking about turn-based strategy games, you just heard the new Sid Meier's Civ games in development. That's actually the fact that started this conversation. So, appreciate it. Very good, very good. But yeah, thank you for letting me know that Civ 7 is coming out real soon. Okay, so now that we have the food situation a little bit better, it's not quite good enough. Oh, no worries. I'm always happy to hear the news of gaming. As I said previously, one second. This chinchilla is dead and available. This is set up to butcher animals forever. That's the issue. It's not inside the range it should be in. I think I removed the animal stockpile here when I made it into a prison. And so what I'm going to do for right now is make this job as big as possible. And we'll fix that after this is done. So Abernathy, let's get chopping. Cool. What are they saying though? Yeah, I tend to get most of my video game news from you fine folks. And so anytime that you know things about new games coming out I should check out, I'd love to know. Always, always, always. You mostly play Total War strategy games. Yeah, this is a game that, or a series I've tried a few times and I'm very, 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 very bad at. But I like the graphics. They look pretty. Hello, Volo. How you doing? After your foray to Football Manager 23, you almost bought Out of the Park Baseball. Yeah, so as I said on stream yesterday, I'm enjoying Football Manager, but I'm also getting a little bit bored of it, I guess. It's a little repetitive, season to season, stream to stream. There's a tremendous amount of, we're going to find the person with higher stats. We're going to hire the person with higher stats. We're going to play the person with higher stats. And then a little bit of randomness on top of that. And I realize that's like every game I play, how do we make the numbers go higher? But it's not quite changing enough from stream to stream to keep me entirely interested. So I think we may be putting FM on the shelf fairly soon. And if we do that, I'm considering doing some, you all are making hearts with blood on the floor. That's weird. That's deviant behavior. If we abandon FM, we'll probably try Out of the Park Baseball next and see what fun that is. It should be a great time. All right. So I believe it's the case that Murky here will continue going across the road to make more and more stones. And those stones will then be used for filling out this floor. And then once that's done, we'll probably want to change our little wooden buildings into stone ones instead. But we are still in the midst of our Crusader Kings 3 playthrough as our main game right now. And that's gone pretty darn well. I've actually really enjoyed that playthrough. I thought it would be done by the end of last week of streaming, but instead it will be around for a few more days at least. There's a long, slow ending to that game for the last 200 years. For management games, I tried Motorsports Manager. No. Is that the F1 game that came out earlier this year? A few of our streamer friends fell absolutely in love with it and streamed nothing but it for like a month. Shen most notably. Yeah, it was an F1 game that he really loved, even though I believe Shen said he did not like racing sports in general. He was just into see how the numbers increase. So I don't know anything at all about racing sports, unfortunately. So yeah, I don't know how well I do with that, unless my dad would come. Right, if my dad were to come and visit and do sports with us, that'd be fun for sure. F1 Manager borrowed from it. Motorsports Manager is too complex. So what's the complexity of the Motorsports Manager game that F1 Manager did not have? Because anytime I hear that a game is too complex for a strategy game streamer, I'm really, really surprised. My thought is always, if you can figure out strategy games on Paradox, it's very hard to understand how you wouldn't figure out other strategy games. This playthrough, because we're bad dudes, we're not going to bury our enemies. Instead, we're going to throw them into a pile somewhere in the middle of the river for now, and they'll be washed away. Maybe eventually we'll start burning them in a giant cremation pile with Molotov cocktails. But yeah, for the moment, the blood of our enemies shall make the water red. But only downstream water, not locally, I promise. Hey, Trith, how's it going? You've been watching the YouTube videos trying to learn how to play this game. If you have any questions at all, let us know. Yeah, definitely tell me what kind of things you need help with. But yeah, Rimworld's a really fun game to learn, I do believe. Okay, so this pile here is for both fresh and rotten humanoids who are not of us. Good. I don't know how I feel about our slaves yet. I'm not going to treat them the same as raiders, though. So we're going to call this one the Raid Grave. That doesn't quite rhyme. It sounded like a rhyme in my head, and then no. The Raider Graver? No. The Raid Yard Graveyard. That means something, I'm sure. Perfect. So his body should get hauled up there pretty quickly then by somebody. We'll see. Currently, Murky does that hauling, though only after all the growing and wardening is done. So we'll see. Okay, Abernathy's all healed up again. It's 5 a.m., probably time to rise and shine pretty soon. Pepper's in the process of making this road throughout the base to speed up our movement a little bit. As of right now, we have really no meaningful defenses. We'll get some traps up before too terribly long, I think. We also have a tremendous amount of saved power right now, even though our only generator is this one right here. And so we should probably start consuming some more power. Now, the normal way we start doing that is by putting in AC units. This place does get fairly cool. It's 15 degrees Celsius in early spring. I think it got down to only 3 or 4 Celsius in the winter here. So heaters, air conditioning units, all super great. We'll do that now. And this is allegedly the freezer, so that'll be the first place we put it. As you know, of course, if the colonists are out of their beds at the time when the AC unit is being placed, they will attempt to escape all at once. So we got to put it in while they're stuck in bed. Now that said, someone, that's me, put this wall in a place where we mostly can only have wooden walls because it's light, soft soil here. Eventually we'll dry that out, but not right now. All right, beloved Pepper, come do this real quick before they get out of bed. Oh, they immediately hop out of bed, so they weren't unconscious, they were just resting to heal up. I should have waited till they were sleeping. Well, Pepper, have you ever wanted to beat some prisoners? Now is your time. Oh, Pepper. Oh, sweet Pepper. All right, one down. Old Lady Emily, cracked in the spine. How long has she been missing a leg? Pepper MG bashed Emily in the leg, destroying it? No, that couldn't have just happened. If it just happened, she'd be bleeding, right? Pepper? Pepper, you swung your club once and knocked someone's leg off. Yeah, she must have had a prosthetic. She must have had a peg leg or something. Because there's absolutely no way this makes sense otherwise. To knock someone's leg clean off with no bleeding. I have no idea. All right, Pepper, do it again. Get bashing, my friend. All right, here we go. Good stun, Pepper. Well done. This time, the other one's swinging back against him. I think Pepper will still win, but we'll bring Abernathy just in case. Now, Abernathy has a pokey stick. I'd prefer not to stab. Now they're all down now. Good job. And Pepper here, a little bit injured, but not too terribly. Pepper, let's get back to building that wall, please. You're tending to yourself. No. That can wait for later. For now, we just repair that. And we'll get her a peg leg in just a moment here. Yes, clean up the blood. Good. Why are you going for the steel here? Have we used steel already? Did I use all of our steel on batteries? There's definitely a reason why one normally would not make 3 batteries as early. Yeah, it might be the case that I used all of our starting steel on just making batteries. That is definitely some big dum-dum behavior. We'll take this apart to get some more steel. And, fine. Oh boy. I might need to go find steel around the map, because if he really is getting only 1 or 2 at a time, it's going to take quite a while to get it all. I'm going to invite Murky to please go take these apart. Occasionally I make some pretty poor choices in this game. This is definitely one of those. I think we get more steel for taking apart the urns. And also, there's mysterious ambrosia somewhere not too terribly far away. We'll go ahead and mark this right here so we don't forget to pick it up in the near future. And we say, do not sow, but yes, harvest. I think this will be all the steel we need now. No. Why is Pepper carrying such a small amount of steel each time? Oh. I knew he was wounded. I didn't realize it was that bad. So Pepper can only carry 8 steel at a time right now. That's a bit unfortunate. I will help that by... This spot takes steel, correct? Yes. Raw resources, steel. So we'll invite Murky to go ahead and haul all this junk in. Which actually will not be enough for Pepper, so... We still have colonists just sleeping on the floor. Not colonists, prisoners on the floor in a gigantic pile. Surely a violation of, I don't know, various conventions of international law and justice. We'll fix that real soon. I believe this is enough steel for making that that cooler now. So we'll bring all this home. That's 62. That should be enough. Or maybe not. 62 plus 8 is 70. 70 plus, how much was it? 6 is not 90. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hey, Murky's starving. Murky's starving because I had them go out and about all by themselves. Also because, hey, there's absolutely no food. Alright, the rice plants can almost be early harvested at 65%. We're not there yet, though. So, let's find any food nearby. There it is. Alright, Murky, go harvest that one. I'm a little surprised we're struggling for food this much, though I recognize now we actually have 2 additional colonists with the prisoners there, and they're probably heading towards starvation on the floor. Oh! I didn't realize, not only did Pepper rip off someone's leg, he also ripped off someone's ear. Pepper, you're an absolute monster. So Pepper, go tend to them. So we'll recruit so we can tend on the floor. And then tend to the beast man without medicine. Good. Abernathy, I'd like you to get some more steel. Now, can Abernathy haul? No. So if Abernathy goes up there to take this apart, someone else will have to bring it back. And that's okay. Now, Pepper's be tending with lower manipulation. It'll be a less than great outcome. But we have more than enough decent medicine so that if this is a bad tend, infections happen, we'll be all right. Medical emergency. Yeah, it's the tending that's happening. Okay, so Abernathy helps with construction briefly. We need 20 more steel at least. I'll go for a little extra. Okay, so the destroyed ear has been tended to now, so that character will not die immediately. Though they have lowered consciousness, I believe, because of their injury. Yes, so as they become more malnourished, that will lower consciousness more. It's possible this character will die of consciousness hitting 0 as opposed to any particular disease or disorder. So, we need to get him in bed and get him fed. Which is to say, we can't go to sleep ourselves right now until we get some more food made for them in particular. Good. Alright, Abernathy's back home, wants to go to sleep, can't have that. Instead, we need another animal to eat, or possibly a bunch of berries. When I say a bunch of berries, we probably need 30 or 40, so definitely a larger animal would be preferable. Hello, alpacas! Alright, Abernathy, it is time to go stab an alpaca. Pepper, you have to help too. Okay. Murky is looking quite sleepy. Had one smoke leaf was not enough to get over their drugs. Still desperate for the Drugos. And so, Murky, I know you want to go to sleep, but I need you to go ahead and haul the rest of the steel. Okay, Murky is wandering about in a psychotic state due to intense pain, which is brought on by the Mechanites. Rough. I'm suddenly feeling this base may actually have been on the brink of falling apart when we started when we ended last time, and I didn't notice. And so now we're starting, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, dead alpaca. Pepper was bit once, I believe. No, merely bruised. No concern, Pepper, you're fine. So, Abernathy, we'd like you to butcher that. Pepper, we'd like you to get to putting the cooler together. And Kinnicool's medical emergency really is just, I'm hungry, correct? Yes, quite hungry, looking pretty bad. We cook now, and then we'll force feed the guy on the ground. Pepper's manipulation's at half now. So it will take quite a long time to bring all of the steel in. More than enough food, so we can't capture Kinnicool right now because he's in an unenclosed room. Can you just feed him? Or does force feeding require the character to be in bed? It does. Alright, time for a quick switch of where the prison is. We'll throw down just 2 sleeping spots for the moment. One right there and one right there. Welcome, friends, to the emergency kitchen / prison. And I want to capture you in particular. And we force feed. The food you will not like. I believe Kinnicool is against eating animals, but to avoid starvation, we're A-okay with that. We'll feed this one also. That's right. We'll make sure our prisoners are fed right at the last possible moment. You know, like some war criminals. Let Pepper go to sleep. In the morning, we'll go ahead and get the prison fixed. You'll also be aware that the food inside of the kitchen / prison now counts as belonging to the prisoners entirely. So my colonists will be unable to find food. I'll have to help them with that part. No worries at all. Alright. A slight bit of panic has been abated. The base persists, thank goodness. Yeah, we really have to push our food production, given that we're at 5 people right now. Pepper, everything is bad. Okay, is everybody starving? Yeah. So I'm going to wake up everyone and go steal a meal from the prisoners. Murky's wandering still, I can't do that. And our current daily schedule has them allowed to do anything they want to. So they'll take care of recreation and get sleep, and I'm not going to interrupt them right now. I just need them to be in better moods. At least we have low expectations, that's right. There are no problems in this base that cannot be fixed by low expectations. Yeah, I made them all work way too long yesterday. From the very early morning fighting of the genie to staying up late putting that cooler together. It's all good. Alright, Pepper. Just you sleep for a while. Everything's fine. Yeah, poor Pepper is definitely the hero of this base. But it's good. It's good. So like I said, I do want this to be a raider base. Right now our little raiders are just figuring out how to survive here for a while, but I'm deeply hopeful that we'll be able to get them strong enough to go attack other people, and I bet we will. Our current research is just beer brewing, which is something I don't normally research at all, but I want them to have access to the finest of morally questionable items. It'll help their moods improve and should add a lot of fun when they slur at each other about past grievances. A group from the Confederacy are visiting. Yeah, so have we attacked all of our visitors so far? I know we did something with the Outlander Union here that really upset them. Right. We had a crash-landed member of this group show up, and instead of trying to heal them and bring them back into good health and send them on their way for more friendship points, we captured them. So, yeah. The people who are visiting right now are the only non-Empire faction that still likes us. If I want to have any trading at all, I can't immediately attack them. Now, they're visitors who do not say they're able to trade, and they have nothing in their pockets as we'd like. Staggeringly ugly, and neurotic and ugly. That's very sad. We're very rude. Maybe they have different beauty standards than we do. But neither character is absolutely amazing, so nobody I'd like to upset the faction over. Okay. Murky comes back. Despite being on a psychotic break, they still make hearts. That's weird. I have some questions about consent in this case, but you do you, Kamaboo. Time for some early rice harvesting. And that'd be Murky's job. No food. Pepper, you're fine. Good morning. Abernathy, you're fine. Good morning. When you're done with playing that, we'll get back to the cooler. We'll need to get a little bit more steel there. Thought we'd hauled it all in already, but maybe the rest we need is still waiting for us up here. Instead, we'll have Pepper head up this way and take all the rest of this apart. Then we'll definitely have the steel we need. But because this is a flat map, there's not a lot of mountains. We're probably having some trouble with steel for a little while, having used so much of it on that first project. Now, there is still plenty of steel, but it's not going to be a unlimited source for us. Oh, what is this? Why is there a dead tortoise here? It died of a heart attack. So usually when I see random animals just hanging out in the base, I always think, oh, it must be some predator nearby. The only predator here, cardiac disease. Cool. Abernathy, go ahead and knock that one out too. And then Pepper's making the cooler. Awesome. I do wonder if we're eating that will cause problems for us. Like, is it extra fatty meat or who knows what? Can we force feed Murky? We can. We definitely can. We're feeding them an unliked food. Is the raw food available, but the cooked field not available? Not cooked food not available? I'm not sure. I know how we can do this. Does Abernathy have food in their pocket or no? No. How we're going to do this is put the food in your pocket. I can't order you to do that, can I? Yeah, if we're making a caravan, you can. But we could haul it to here. I think we're just going to wait while Pepper makes that. As long as Pepper doesn't screw this up, we can then move the prisoners over and make the food available for Murky again. That said, because they're on a psychotic break, they might come take it themselves anyway. All right, the cooler has been made. That's real, you know, cool. Pepper, move. Okay. Pepper will not warden. Many things Pepper will do not include that. And then Murky should grab the food now. They do. Alright, every male colonist having a terrible time. The voices in the head just won't stop. What are they saying? Most unspeakable and cruel of things. We got past that bit of trouble. Hopefully Murky joins us again soon. Pepper, one of the males, is feeling just fine because psychically deaf. So psychic drones absolutely nothing to them. Abernathy has a little more troubles, but their mood is still alright also. Cool. Cool. Alright, with that problem solved, need Murky to come back to dig out those bits of rice. Need someone to be making more stones over here. Those granite blocks are being used for walls. These are slate flagstones. So where is slate on the pile of wood cutting over here, or stone cutting over here? It's the first thing to be done. The only issue is no one has hauled slate in recently. There's a bunch of slate and other things marked up here to get hauled in. The hope was that the dog would be doing that. However, our dog has decided it does not want to work. Silent, what's wrong with you? It's a Silent is not fully trained on hauling. Closer and closer and closer. Right now it'll just be us hauling stuff back and forth. Lots of floors need to be covered over also. That'll be good. When this research is finished, again, beer brewing, we'll want to make some kind of larger brewing room. I'll probably go down this way and have the brewing room abut against the dining room. So they can grab some food, they can grab some drinks, and have a nice old party in the dining room. The blood on the floor was not okay. Early game mental breaks where a character who does a lot of things no longer does anything. Always a little bit annoying. Cool. Alright, let's think about the future a bit. So these walls over here, I believe, are marble. They are. And we do have the marble stones for them. So Pepper will get that done in a little bit. Other than that, we just have the slate flooring so far. We could set out granite or slate flooring throughout these rooms. I want to hold off on that until we use the granite for some kind of basic walls. Now, as you see here, we really are just kind of out in the middle of nowhere. As I said before, I do want to make a wall all the way along the river. That's a long-term project. In the short term, maybe a closer by wall, maybe just on this side of things would be a good idea. And no one hauled the brawler. Again, this is the problem with Murky being out, and our hauler and our cleaner and our grower, but Enrique has been thrown in the water. Do you float? Nonetheless, he's still off gases. Something, Ohio train derailment. Yes. Hey, beer brewing. Build a brewery and fermenting vats transform hops into tasty, tasty beer. We need a clever name for our beer brewing operation. I know there's so many microbrews now, and they all have funny names and funny labels. Ours is called Beer. I know on The Simpsons it was Duff Beer, but on this game, need a name that's right for our raiders. What does raid rhyme with? Or R-based words for alcohol? There's rum. Beer is not rum, though. Okay, so fermenting barrel, you put wort into it. To get wort, you need the brewery. Workstation with all the equipment needed to mix wort for beer production. Wort must be fermented to finally become beer. You always want to make a beer line called Hold My Beer And. That's amazing. I think you should do that for sure. The Clubble Bubbles. Clubble Bubble. And then eventually make an even larger container of alcohol called the Double Clubble Bubble. You have too much, you have a Double Clubble Bubble Trouble. Rizorty IPA. Axix, that's amazing. Y'all have some very, very good names, and I appreciate you all very, very much. What I don't appreciate is that we have not yet picked this. So I'm using my less strong farmer to get this stuff just because we need the food right now. So we'll probably not get the best possible harvest, but it'll be good enough for the moment. Rizordy. Yeah, we'll probably go with that. Dog? Dog? Is dog starving? Dog's starving, fine. So earlier we were killing random animals for dog to eat, and then dog was not eating them. We know that dog is disallowed from going into the kitchen, but I guess I wasn't paying attention to the dog's possible starvation. Shame on me. So, you can get some more? Yum rice. That's fine. We just need to kill something else for it. Eventually we'll have kibble. So with that in mind, I should probably go ahead and plant both hops. Yes, hops and also something else for dogs. Maybe hay grass to make kibble eventually. Yeah, so I like how these little fields look. They're attractive there, except for this one's offset slightly, but you don't have to tell. So have fields over this way as well. So this line goes over that way. Yeah, and eventually we'll have some kind of road system connecting all of these. Okay, this is in the way, so we'll move it over to yes, go play in the middle of the swamp. Perfect. So this one, make the hay grass one, because we need more of that consistently. And this one here will make into the just hops. We don't need that too much. Hey Jerry, what mods am I running? Absolutely nothing. Yeah. The more I play this, the more I think I really should use mods at some point, but nah, can't do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Okay, Murky looks like they're ready to rock. I know it's sleep o'clock, but we're gonna force you to get to it. Does rainfall affect plant growth or just slow quality? To my knowledge, rain does absolutely nothing in the game other than in terms of growing. Like, it has effects on shooting and mood and so on, but it does not affect growing. I believe growing is affected by soil quality and sunlight and temperature. And I think that's all. Yeah, fairly sure. Hello, Emily. Oh, we just recently recaptured these people after they tried to quote-unquote escape. And so, good, they're still set up to be converted. Cool. Enough rice to do a whole bunch of cooking. We'll get that done in the morning. And then hopefully with Murky back, we'll get more things finished around the base. Can't wait to have a fourth person. As I always say, the jump from the fourth person from the third person is always such a very, very cool moment. So hopefully that will come presently. Also, they have the only AC unit in the entire base, so their mood should be nicer than ever before. And look at that, Kinul is down to only 3.3% certainty in their ideal legends. They will change over to ours in a moment. Emily still's got some more to go, but we'll use Murky's conversion on them. Wait, that's reassure. Conversion on them, and that will hurry things along. 64%. Closer, closer, closer. I could use the conversion there to definitely have Kindle join, but because they're so close to converting, we'll leave it as is. Hey, we have no food. Abernathy? Abernathy? This is a case where this is reset. Still making one or two at a time until we have enough food coming in for all of them. Bigger piles at once. Alright, let's fight another alpaca. Pepper still has lovely stone club. We've not researched, better weapons yet. Smithing and such. I'd like to do that next, but I need Abernathy to do other work around the base for a while. And then we'll catch back up on research. So there were alpacas down this way. And I don't see them anymore. So where have they gotten off to? Alright, a little farther down. Definitely farther than we'd like to walk. It'd be a bit of a waste of the day, but if there are no other smaller animals nearby... emus. Even with long swords and uranium maces, I'd still be terrified of fighting emus. Capybaras. They're larger creatures than little chinchillas, but I think we can fight them, and they don't revenge. So we're just going to walk into the middle of this group and get clubbing and see what happens. Hey, Murky tried to convert Kinhul to her own religion. Kinhul was convinced, turned away from plunderism and towards the ideology of the Club. Good. So it's another raider faction, plunderism and Club, and happily they now believe in our version, which will make them okay with eating meat especially. That's hugely important. So Kinul now becomes focused on recruiting, and only 16 resistance. This will take a while. Emily is still being converted to our ideologian from plunderism as well. Could just go for berries like a peaceful people, but no, no, no. Hey, I think no new injuries. Maybe Pepper, who knows? Pepper, how you looking? Pepper's taking all the damage so far. Nope, nothing real. I'm not even gonna look at health until they're all dead. We'll trust that Pepper and Abernathy are in good shape as they destroy one of God's most beautiful creatures. Very good, very good, very good. Pepper has a giant blood splatter in the middle of his face. Are you missing your nose? I mean, the capybara got your nose, but you're good. Abernathy, you're fine. No concerns at all. Okay. Let's get hauling animals in. That said, I removed the animal spot still. Oh, also, our prison's open. So now the kitchen, it counts as part of the prison as well. Goodness. Goodness. Abernathy, I would like you to just cut one up. People dumping items indoors, always super annoying when that happens. Probably Abernathy was on the way to make some food when I grabbed them both and invited them to get killing all the most of the concubines, no, the capybaras rather. All right, let's go ahead and make this food. He should grab the rice. Yes, good. We need to get all of these dead bodies hauled down. If any of them go bad, I will feel bad about myself for killing them all. So, gotta focus on every single one at once. And so we just haul them to outside, which is... I mean, definitely this is a case where we have too much food. Like, absolutely positively, I have created so much food that we're not able to eat. And so some of these animals will be for the dog to enjoy, but you're going to see some rotten capybara in the near future. Unless I can get the freezer functional, but which I mean I get the prisoners out of there. So maybe making a proper prison would be a good idea. Okay. Hello, Murky. I know you'd like to sleep. I know. Just go get one or two of these. Here comes the dog! Here comes the dog! Consuming the capybara! Yes! A little less food for us. A little less wasted capybara meat, though. Has Abernathy been healed up yet? Dude, okay. Dude. So, they don't have a hospital. We could force you into bed. That said, it's minor scratches. You'll be fine. We don't believe in infections in this game. Just wander around and make everything bloody and terrible. Yeah, should be good, should be good, should be good. I also just now noticed that Abernathy is a hussar. Is that true? No, you're Neanderthal. Are your... Oh, their eyes are not red. They're just bloody. I thought I needed to hurry along and get go juice so this character wouldn't die, but no, that's just a tremendous amount of blood. Well. Oh, isn't Abernathy a doctor? Yeah, I just never turned Abernathy's self-10 flag on. There we go. Yeah, I wish my non-combat person were my doctor. That'd be a better way to go to avoid lower manipulation after fighting. No doubt we'll have another doctor soon enough. What have we done on today's stream so far? I mean, we dealt with the issue of having no food. We dealt with the issue of Murky's mental break. But I feel like we're making very slow progress so far. It's alright. We'll get it all done eventually, as you do. Alright, unfortunately, Kinwooler is not terribly impressed with the prison we have for them. And that's why I said we need to make a better prison room. You want to have a worse prison room to change their ideology and a better one to make them more likely to join you. So I think we'll put our prison. I don't know how to think about this. I think we'll put our prison along the river. Now, as always, I'm making my base too big, a little too spread out, but I like how it looks when it's that way. Something crashed nearby. It's cargo pods. It's cargo pods full of duck eggs, unfertilized duck eggs. Cool, 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 cool. These haul those in first, Murky. I've lost them forever. They're bright green. They should stand out in a big way. Bright green on a background of green is definitely not the thing. I thought they were right in here. I know how to make the characters find it. This will work fine. So we just need to make a stockpile. It's southwest, not for our base. All right, we'll see. Going southwest. There we are. Thank you very much. Yeah, I thought it was southwest, but I went a little bit too far and I just couldn't find them. Again, thank you. Alright, so the question of the prison. Currently we have granite stones. Granite stones for a prison room sounds like a lot of sense. So we'll make a wall along here eventually. I may do it right now as like the prison yard. Let's do that. I don't think I've ever actually had a prison yard. How do you set that up with a prison? Like an enclosed prison? Do you hold the door open so they can walk in and out? I think prisoners can't open doors on their own usually. We'll see. Alright, so wall of granite. And we can't go, well, I can't keep going, never mind, but I don't want to go past there right now. That's a prison yard there. And do we cut it off? Do we just put like a building in the middle of it? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we're going to do there. Hey, 21 meals. I went from having absolutely no food to quite a bit quite quickly. That's pretty swell. Okay, we have too much food. We have way too much food. I'm actually going to pause one for right now. Let him do some other things instead. Oh boy, he wants to do all the butchering now. That's why I gotta get the prison empty straight away. Else all that meat will go bad. Let's think about the big questions of a wall and a prison yard later. For right now, just a room would be nice enough. And this time I'm trying to make interesting looking buildings as opposed to just like repeated rectangles. I wish you could pen in yeah, your prisoners like they were cattle. I'm guessing there's some mod that has chain link fences, which would probably look much cooler for my purposes, but I guess what we'll do is just a little area like that. And some area for them to walk to the sides. That's, I guess, not wide enough to make the kind of room I was thinking. Yeah, let's not overthink this. Okay, double wide steel doors. And I will make this area do not cover, so that's their outdoor area. Kind of a questionably small yard, isn't it? We'll make it bigger later. Alright, and then from there, we'll have an actual area for the sleeping and the living and so on. Oh, shoot. The issue with this area is it becomes swampy very quickly. So how about instead of doing it this way, which I thought was a cool way of having it look, we'll get rid of this and put it left to right instead. And maybe have like one prison wing this side and one prison wing that side eventually. this way far enough. And then 2 that way, 2 that way. Need 1 more. There you go. Except that spot there is too light of ground. Remember when the swamps first came out in this game, and I was so excited to play in a swamp, and then I couldn't make any buildings anywhere? I'm glad they added in bridges soon thereafter, I believe. So you're able to build spots, you'll make wooden walls. But, sure. Is that nice? That's not nice. We'll go up 1 instead. Skip this. The rectangle. Except another unbuildable area. Pull up affordances. Yep, just right there. just right there, just right there. Like I said, we could put bridges there and have wooden walls, but wooden wall prison feels a little bit off. So we're going to have to go through the middle there, which means I gift you an asymmetrical room. Good, 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 good. Inside we'll have to do wooden flooring. That's fine. And maybe we can imagine that my my prisoners will dig out through this little soft soil. Never get tired of Rimworld music? Yeah, it's some of the best. As I often say, I'm amazed at how many indie games have really, really good music. That is just, I don't know, what's the word for it? Like, it sets the game setting so well. Relaxing, and then it's not very quickly. I'm actually just going to make the 1 spot now so I don't forget and treat it as if it were wooden floor. Now, what are the other indie games with amazing music? I mean, Tharsis is one I always mention. I haven't streamed Tharsis ever. If you've not seen it, though, it's, what's the word for it? Yahtzee with space cannibalism. Which I realize is just a strange description, but no, really, it is that. Space cannibalism Yahtzee. And, friend of the channel, Dolphin Chemist, used to play it quite a bit. Because Dolphin Chemist is quite good at figuring out percentages very quickly and understanding which rolls are worth taking. And when I play it off stream, I just push buttons and say, I'm sure this will work out, and then we all die. Okay, out of stones there now. So I believe it's the case that only Murky is supposed to be doing the stone cutting, but there's enough other jobs right now that I think we're going to ask Abernathy to help instead, and take Abernathy off of the helping with growing thing. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. I'll need someone else to go haul stuff in. Oh boy, quest available called Pollution Dump. A Stellar of the Exodus Empire's special request. She has a bunch of toxic waste packs. She doesn't want to store them. Will we take her pollution? So I know we're bad guy raiders, but bad guy raiders can still care about the environment. So, I don't know. Tox Immune Gene Pack seems absolutely appropriate as a way of dealing with the toxic waste packs, but we're so far away from being able to use genes that, no, it seems kind of foolish. So I'm going to reject this one for now. Maybe later game will do more with pollution, but the idea of like just putting it in the corner as a sin to deal with later does not appeal when we're dumping it outside. You never heard of Tharsis? Yeah, it's a weird little indie game. Tharsis, Tharsis. And it's probably pretty inexpensive over on Steam right now. It's a little older, but a lot of fun. Why is our colonist walking slowly when going through this tile here? Does this part count as occupied? Even though it appears to be open, I believe this part counts as occupied, so I have to walk over a building to get through. We may change the setup then. I like that it looked a little bit different, but no. Oh gosh, Murky. Oh gosh, Murky. Until you have your drugs, you're just going to be constantly feeling terrible. And you slept in the heat. We can fix that. More AC units, more good. And put one over here also. And one here. These rooms are big enough. This room's big enough that we probably can't just share AC, so we'll just make more and more and more. But like I said before, the issue of the steel, we'll have to do some mining fairly soon. Abernathy has nothing to do. Right. In which case, when Mark Abernathy help with hauling, you can't help with hauling. So Abernathy can't do the stonemasonry with the stones being a little bit too far away. So, we go ahead and make all of these jobs a little bit bigger, just so they can find some stones. This is your way of dealing with the hauling. And you should be able to find some now, hopefully. A mad tortoise. Local tortoise is upon us. It's heard about those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and wants to take a stab. It has not developed its kung fu grip entirely. Let's see how Pepper and the tortoise goes. Pepper has his armor on, the turtle does too. I see you know your kung fu well. Alright, bitten twice in the leg. Pepper blasted it in the shell repeatedly. The underside of the shell is called a plastron, is that right? Plastron? What's the top of the shell called? Is it just the shell? Or is there a technical anatomy term for that one as well? Anyway, Hero Pepper once again protects the base. Without a single concern. Realizing I know nothing about the naming of parts of the turtle makes me wonder what else I don't know. I've been reading a book about linguistics, and I'm really enjoying it. Like, it's the history of Noam Chomsky's contributions to the field, and then the rejection of those contributions by George Lakoff. So it's sort of an account of what happened in linguistics between the 1950s and the recent day. And it's super interesting. But as I'm reading, I'm like, oh wow, there's so much about linguistics I know nothing about. And I feel like I'm learning it. Now, it is a quasi-popularizing book. It is put out by Oxford University Press. And so it is, you know, at the same time, a scholarly book. There's citations and references and so on. And sort of written with a winking in the know kind of voice. But yeah, I'm learning about linguistics. Like, okay, what should I learn next? I have to understand how Chomskyan deep structure grammar works. What do I look for after that? I'm thinking something sciencey. I think that's the biggest gap in my knowledge is the atom, the quark, the other very small things I can't really see or understand. The problem, though, is I've seen so many people in my field, which is philosophy, learn a little bit about quantum physics and begin making wild claims about its relevance to everyday human life. And that seems like a dangerous activity. Speaking of dangerous activities, it's a Manhunter pack, pretty early. We are playing Randy Random, though, so this could be absolutely anything. Manhunting Yorkshire Terriers. Oh no! It's a part of a pack, just the one. Just a two, actually. The other one's hiding. The other one back there is engaged in camouflage. But please avert your eyes if you can't deal with the fact that Pepper MG himself, whatever kind of self it is, will be out there killing some puppies. Look away now. We've gone so quickly from no food at all to more and more food very quickly. Also, I should have made some traps by now, because puppy dogs do indeed have sharp teeth. Hey, one down, no problems. They started it. Yes, we must punish them for their crimes. Holy cow! Abernathy, number one. With a single swing, Abernathy split the Yorkshire Terrier's head, neck, and liver. Missing body parts are a problem. And then, Abernathy, moving a knife skillfully, slashed the Yorkshire Terrier in the front left paw. Cut in the body caused the terrier to perish. I'm kind of amazed by that one. Just losing the leg. Yeah, I brought the body to 0. Huh. Alright, good stuff, good stuff. Puppy murder. Well done, Abernathy, well done. The bodies that are already rotten, there's no reason to bring them in. So let's make a zone out here that's just for the corpses of rotten animals. Good. Need a name for it. The Killing Field. Rotten something. Rotten Romper. Word for pile, stack. Rotten Roster. Not quite right, but good enough. Thinking baseball roster seems good. How's that prison going up here? It's allegedly going to be a prison someday. And speaking of random animals on our map, first it was puppy dogs, and now it is the Thrumboy. Hello, Thrumbo. Hello, Thrumbo. Both of them young and happy. Surely not to be engaged with. And then, hey, it's malaria. Why are we not playing Cassandra? No, but really, why are we not playing Cassandra? All right. So, 2 of our colonists have gotten sick from the malaria. It's our doctors. Both of our doctors have gotten sick with the malaria. Oh, goodness. All right, this is our first time to use proper medicine then. And so, yeah, we'll definitely move them both up to that. I should probably turn off self-tending and make sure they tend to one another. Hello, Thrumbo number 5. How you doing, my friend? More Thrumbos in the map, more Thrumbos in the chat. We appreciate it. Alright, Abernathy, get to taking care of Pepper. You never play on Randy, you don't like punishment. I mean, so it's strange. I actually don't know under what conditions Randy spawns events. Like, the name is Randy Random, so presumably randomly. But at the same time, it does seem like it occasionally just piles on in very unfriendly ways. Alright, so Pepper and Abernathy both get to hang out in bed, which means poor old Murky has to do all the work. Murky is going to be worky. Tending number 1, 75%. Good to good. You get in bed then. And Pepper ends there. Alright, so how's Pepper looking? Haven't been tended to first. 3% immunity, 2.5 malaria. It's going in the right directions. No problems at all. Pepper wants to go have a nice little relaxation moment. That's okay. And Abernathy with that good 10 there. 3-5 versus 3-9. So this should be catching up, but one never quite knows. Hey, Shadow Company, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. If we turn this into a medical bed, we can force Pepper to stay in it. I think Pepper will go to the bed on his own. Doing some doctoring first. Yeah, it's because doctoring is marked as being prior to bed rest. Hey, Murky's going to eat all the food. Well, great. Well, great. So let me quickly check and make sure that everyone has been fed recently. Sort of. Before Murky eats all the food, get one in Pepper real quick. Now, this is Murky's second bit of panic. You'll notice that she slept outside because I said to go make a cooler. That was a slight mistake because it counts as being outside until it's remade. So, friend Pepper, I know you need to sleep. Just make that wall. There is wood nearby. Yes. Okay. For Randy, you think it's that there are intervals for thing he throws at you. One short interval and then a long one with variability. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know the regularity in which Randy random events come. It seems sometimes like absolutely nothing comes for a very, very long time. And then suddenly quite a bit comes. Today it's felt like a number of activities in a row have been relatively unfriendly to us. But Pepper goes to sleep. Awesome. Abernathy's been in bed for a while now. Immunity is over malaria, good. Pepper's not been in bed, but has a better tend, so immunity's over malaria also. As of right now, as long as we do a good job of staying on the food and staying on the tending, we'll be fine. The only issue with Murky wandering, no one is feeding our lovely prisoner guests. And I actually don't know of any cute way to get them food right now. Murky wants more food. Murky's in one of those moods. I've been in these moods where I think, it's a 6 sandwich day today. Who needs 1 sandwich or 2? More. What we've seen, Randy's a setting if you want to feel tough, but can't help difficulty of Cassie or Phoebe ramping up and never getting easier. Yeah, I mean, I tend to enjoy Cassandra quite a bit because I know the rough sense of how it's going to go. All right, I know what I need to do moment to moment to improve and to prove. With Randy, occasionally things escalate more quickly than I can deal with, and then it gets quite a bit easier later. So, yeah. All right. I may need to ask Abernathy to get up and go make some food before Murky eats it all. Now again, head by 2 right now. It needs to be tended in 2 hours. Cool. Shame on you, Pepper. Shame on you, Pepper. Immediately went and stole Abernathy's bed. Where are you going? More duck eggs. Yeah, I think all of the storytellers in Rimworld make a lot of sense. I've never played on any of the extra ones. The ones that are modded. I don't remember their names right now, but I know there's some Rimworld storytellers that are meant to be like absolutely brutal with 100-person raids from the first moment. And I understand the point if you just want to have like the hardest possible gameplay, but I'm not exactly sure what other kinds of storytellers there are. Have any of you ever used storyteller mods for Rimworld that you've really enjoyed? That have been anything other than just in Harden? They added Rick from Rick and Morty. How would that kind of storyteller work in the game? Like, I know the character. Is there like a constant belching sound? Is there a sense that the storyteller is smarter than the player, or at least believes himself to be? Are you all malnourished yet? Close enough. So, who is now ahead on health more? Pepper's untreated. So does Abernathy. So let Abernathy go ahead and tend to Pepper first. It's even worse than Randy with nonsense from descriptions. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea that Rimworld is so darn customizable, right? I really, really like that one's able to change basically every part of the game and make it just what you want it to be, etc., etc. But it's hard for me to think of different ways that the storyteller could work unless one were to write a whole bunch of new events that are appropriate to that storyteller. If it's just instead... if it's just instead like, here, the events come more quickly, or here the events happen more slowly, it doesn't feel all that novel to me. So Abernathy, I'm going to invite you to please just go Warden for a moment. Cool. Just got to give people some food. Pepper. We're back in bed. Wrong bed, but that's okay. Rise and shine out the way. Okay. Let's just go ahead and check in again on our friend Malaria. 33 over 19. Abernathy, I believe, is closer. 28 over 26. Good. And our lovely prisoners have been fed again. They're playing in a little pile of leather. We can't do the Chuck E. Cheese ball pit. Instead, it's the leather... I don't know what the word is for it, but some kind of leather fun. And look at that, Murky has fallen over. And so Murky's having a little sleep real quick on the floor after that great catharsis. Pepper, go Savior. We can just order to wake up. Yeah. What I see here is our smoke leaf plants are nearly finished. I'm just going to go ahead and cut out a few of these early here, and then I don't think we have a crafting spot quite yet, but finally, Murky will have access to the drugs that they require most. I mean, a starting drug. Eventually she wants the hard stuff, but for right now, we will make some joints. I never know what happens. Like, make 4 at a time, make 22. Just want 20, thank you. And then get back to it when we're down to 3. Yep. Should be good. Throw them on the floor. Great, great, great. I'm going to continue paying attention to this more closely than is probably necessary, but I always worry if I don't keep a very close eye, the characters will just die. More turtles in the base. Down to 1 meal again. Happily, Murky's not eating all of them, but we are going to need to have Abernathy get up again in a moment. Probably when they can be tended but don't need to be tended yet. Because Pepper will have the same situation. Hey, a farming work site nearby. So as I said before, the goal of this playthrough is to do raiding. These kind of pop-ups I've never dealt with before in my life. And honestly, I assumed initially, when I first saw them pop up in, was it Ideology maybe? I assumed that they were like, here, you can go trade. They have 334 potatoes, let's trade for potatoes. Nope, it's you can go seize their potatoes. So I've actually never gone there, not even a little bit. So you detected a farming worksite controlled by Gain. If you wish, you can raid the camp to collect loot, 334 potatoes. If you do, Gain will be big cranky. The camp will pack up and move in 30 days. So yes, the potatoes I would like. So we can boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. And there's 2 people there. We don't know who those 2 people are. We don't know if our fine raiders are strong enough to take them on, but they're simple farmers. What's the worst that can happen? Okay, so at the time now, we can go cooking. Corn can be pre-harvested. We're going to have Abernathy. One second. Creature is missing. I see a creature to butcher. Dogs are definitely allowed. It's in radius. Maybe the dog is coming to eat the dog. Ah, it's dogged all the way down. All right. This is cannibal-like behavior. I can't support this. Can't accept this. But it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. All right, will there be any part of it left? So there is. Oh, 3 bites. Greedy, greedy, silent. Greedy, greedy, silent is scarfing down. 4 bites. Holy cow. Oh my goodness. All right. So we're at the point now where Pepper and Abernathy, I believe, need to be treated very soon. So Pepper, Abernathy, you're going to cut this. Not assigned. Not assigned. Nobody's assigned. What I see, though, is that Murky can convert. We'll do that real quick. And then Pepper, we're going to ask you to help with plant cutting for a moment. Better to use Abernathy, actually, because Abernathy needs to do the cooking, and so if we're already out of bed for that, we're fine. And Abernathy's also the farther ahead on malaria, I think. All right, certainty has fallen to 29% on Emily's belief in all good things, namely our raider activity. This is not nearly enough food for anything. However, we can now chop the dog apart. It still has about half of its meat. And the combination of these might be some meals at least. Oh, Pepper's actually the one who is farther along. The question is self-tending. So self-tending is 70% as effective as another person tending you. So Abernathy's a 4 medical, Pepper's a 3, beep boop math. Abernathy, you're gonna go back to bed. Oh, sorry, I meant to let you finish your meal first. My apologies. Can Murky cook at all? Or is your cooking skill, you know, murky? We'd like to avoid people eating raw food now. So Abernathy needs a little bit more food for any cooking. Alright, Pepper and Abernathy, the malaria twins, have a date with a tortoise. And that puppy dog is full of my puppy dog. I kind of wish we'd not need to think about eating the husky, but, you know, it's one of the things we often think about. Let's get stabbing. Level 11 melee. Good improvement. Hey, it's a smoke leaf. I know smoke leaf's a good call to harvest, but let's get some corn real quick. Feeding corn to Kinhool. Kinhool would not like that. Then we need to tend Nord Emily. Give it back. Give it back. Or unfortunately, Emily found the corn. Gross. Alright, food is dropped off. We tend to Pepper now. Did you just waste medicine on tending to a bite first? They tend to active bleeds first. But that's okay. We still have a ton of medicine. No big problems. Then we trade out the bed. Pepper, you tend to Abernathy. Some meals remain. Gotta get some food into Abernathy. That happens next. Go have some yum-yums. The single bed dance. I mean, just making a second medical bed would solve all of these problems. But, hey, Abernathy wants to make some drugs. You know, you should be in bed getting better, but if you want to make some drugs for our good friend Murky, you're welcome to make some drugs for our good friend Murky. I haven't set up the drugs schedules yet. I should probably do that fairly soon. Pepper, get out of that bed. Abernathy takes it over. Pepper eats food. Cool. Let's go ahead and set up the drugs queue now. It's a smoke leaf is used for recreation purposes. I'm gonna take that off. However, Murky is chemical fascination, so we'll ignore the drug rules. I believe. I shall ignore directives not to use recreational drugs, consuming more than a normal person. Good. I do want everyone to be able to use social drugs in case moods get bad. And how bad is that? That's addiction, sorry. This is the one to say, use it if your mood gets below 30%. Yes. Good. As I said before, I almost never do drug colonies, so I do wonder if we'll end up with smoke leaf addictions on everyone. Or at least on Murky. Yeah, probably by the end of the playthrough, our chemically fascinated character here will have an addiction to absolutely everything, including Luciferium. And it will be lovely, lovely. You can't abide drug use in your Rimworld because of Nancy Reagan. Your drug abuse resistance education? Absolutely. When the police officer came around and said, only losers smoke pot. I said, yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir. Yeah, I believe that DARE was largely ineffective in the US, but it did make a whole generation of people feel weird when they think about drugs. Luckily, my poor little Rim characters didn't have that kind of war on drugs. Instead, they're having the war for drugs. That's what this raid group's all about. Hey, here's a mission for us. We want to. We can go find an AI ship somewhere far, far, far away. That would be fun. Medical treatment needed. Abernathy wants to tend again. Malaria? In 1 hour's time. Lieutenant Pepper. That's exactly right. Good job, good job, good job. 42% tend. I believe Pepper will resolve the malaria on his own now, even with no more tending. That said, we don't want to play that too close, so we'll continue keep him in bed for now. 10 now. Pepper, do that, please. Out of food again. We'll have to fix that in a second. And I see that Abernathy's been running down and doing a whole bunch of crafting of the drugs. We don't need that right now, so I'll move him from crafting entirely. But little corn. I see the hauling jobs are not getting done. The base is becoming a tremendous mess. There definitely is room in the hauling stockpile. I kind of want to dig that out some more. Yeah, no reason not to do so right now. I'll leave the bit in the bedroom to make attractive someday, I think. But more space, more good. And we'll have Murky pop over here again. I probably planted way too much smoke leaf. I think one of the standard moves, of course, is to begin selling it. And organs. And I do wonder if the Rimworld devs will ever make organ harvesting a little bit more full of penalties to your characters. I think a whole bunch of bad guy players get so much money so quickly just by endlessly stealing the body parts from all the raiders. Yeah, because the devs did modify how tainted clothes worked, right? So you wouldn't be able to get clothes forever off of your prisoner characters and raider characters. So I don't know what a non-immersion breaking way of dealing with organ harvesting would be. Like, I know that characters get mood penalties, but not quite the same thing. That's enough food for now. Pepper got out the way again. And I'm certainly not saying that organs should be an inexpensive thing in the game. Like, having organ harvesting farms is definitely a way to make a lot of money in the real world, I'm sure. Not that I can imagine actually doing that, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cut this field in half and have the northern half do something else instead. So let's go ahead and shrink this zone like so. And then run a little path right through the middle. I have another field up north for, I'm not quite sure what yet, like probably heel root eventually. But I don't think we quite know how to plant that yet. Oh, we're close. Oh, we're real close actually. And Kinul here can plant it right now. If only Kinul would join us. Down to what level of resistance? 12.1. Yeah, someday, someday, someday. Hey, Pepper out of bed. Really? Hey, Pepper has gotten over the malaria. Good. Just Abernathy then. Probably needs one more tend, but that's great. That's absolutely great. We're going to smooth both of those. Get these chunks hauled out as well. We'll continue expanding this stockpile as more spaces made available, but for now that's good. This poor, empty, unrefueled campfires. Pepper's favorite place to hang out. Just looking at the ash and remembering the times past. Alright, very cool to see that the dog has finally brought in all these chunks. I'm hoping those continue to refill fairly quickly. This spot in the middle, a smashed stump, should be removed. See, Abernathy is self-tending. That's absolutely fine. I'm going to take Pepper off of the good medicine again. And Abernathy is the same thing now. No more good medicine. You're going to be fine. Cool. I was actually quite worried for a moment there that with Murky wandering and both of our doctors with malaria, we would not be able to catch back up, but we're looking just fine once more. That's pretty cool. The prison is not yet created. I'm going to keep calling it the prison, even though, you know, that's just a word. Oh man, all these items out in the field, we gotta get those all hauled in. So I'm going to ask Murky to focus on hauling for a little bit and stop with the growing. Do want to clean first, though, and then definitely get hauling done. Pepper here. Kind of sort of want to make Pepper do some crafting just to get this done. Oh, we need power over there also. Like a lamp in here would be really nice and probably cause them to work faster too. It's time for us to run the single power cable from left to right for the time being. Eventually we'll have more, and we'll have some, hopefully have some water wheels. Well, that's a bit down the line for us. Okay, that goes in the middle there, go across, and just unify all that. Please join us. 10.6 resistance, closer and closer. All these conversion processes. Only 10% certainty, so they probably will convert at next conversion request. But it's still a few days away, unfortunately. Alright. No more recreation, only laboring. Okay, we can now fully expand this. We'll do that. Our stockpile room is now outside, so things inside are going bad. We just need to get these two walls fixed first. That's marble. I don't believe we have any marble. So, we're going to move the marble pile to the top here, and then force someone to come over and do that part next. Murky must do everything. Cool. So let's go back down to the bottom of the stack now. And Pepper takes those to make the walls, and the stockpile zone is once again indoors. Almost. Almost. Cool. We've not moved this yet. I think I asked him to move. Oh, I didn't ask him to move it. I actually made a new one. The wrong button there, definitely. So we'll remove the horseshoe pin. And then we're able to get some more hops grown in the middle there. How's the dog doing right now? Haven't killed anything for it recently. It's okay on food. Yeah, presumably isn't getting food while being tamed or trained to haul. Which it's doing. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Okay, because the dog is now successfully hauling, we're going to invite Murky to stop with the hauling and get back onto growing again. Good. I see that Abernathy's doing absolutely nothing, so we'll add crafting to the pile there as one more thing to get done. And then once the crafting is finished, both with the smoke leaf joints as well as the stones over here, we'll then have Abernathy get back onto research. So I will set this up as a job, but then demote research such that it doesn't get done immediately. Let's do smithing and learn about the glory that is more maces. Abernathy, lower research after crafting. Cook if you can, then craft, then research. Cool. Speaking of cooking if you can, where'd all the food go? Let me make absolutely sure the dog cannot get into the kitchen room. I'm nearly sure I did this. Yeah, bad silence, no kitchen. It's just like there's so many other colonists. Now, presumably there is food in their pockets. No, there's just not. Huh. I burned through the food much faster than I thought we would. So next round of rice will be there very soon. And at that point, I believe we'll have sufficient food coming in, though we may need to have additional fields. Just to help with that, we'll expand out this way. Yeah, I want to have a little more separation between my path and the fields, but I know that now it's wasted space. So more. We got a ton of cloth right now, so I'm gonna actually stop with the cloth and change this over to potatoes. Potatoes. More conversion. How many points will you lose? You're at 10 certainty right now. Murky makes their best appeal. Only to 7-6. In 10 hours, that changes. So I am actually going to move Emily over to being convinced to join the team instead. Though we're thinking about trying to enslave her, because she has only 1-4 will. So what was the reason I thought about enslaving her instead of recruiting her? I think it might be the non-violence. So I think enslaving causes some traits to no longer function. I'm not sure if non-violence is one of them. Also, arming the slaves, bad idea. But yes, a 69-year-old who's still missing a leg. Sorry about that, we should probably give you a leg now. Alright, peg leg on the right-hand side. Gotta use the good medicine for this. That's fine. For you, my friend. And then we'll invite you to please join us in the worst possible way. This may upset the faction here even more, but that's alright. Your bed becomes medical. Climb on in. Oh, I didn't actually set up the, I did set up the operation. I thought they immediately hopped into their beds for operation time. Now, colonists definitely do, but perhaps prisoners don't. There we go. Pepper had to grab them and throw them in the prison, or in the bed first. I wonder how conversation on slavery goes. I know how, like, please join us conversation goes, but can't imagine what it is. Say, hi, would you please become a slave? Give up your essential liberty for a little more safety? Pepper goes chop, 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 chop. Previously destroyed one leg and now gifted Emily a brand new one. What is wrong with you, Pepper? So, Pepper, I thought you were a halfway decent doctor. You're not. You're not at all. Alright, we actually don't have that good of a doctor. So Pepper's trying, Pepper's improving. Pepper seems strongly opposed to the idea of ever improving anyone's legs. This is good. This is giving us a further opportunity to fix a leg. Yeah, only 2% of the torso. So Emily almost died for real here. Had to hit 0 torso, that'd be the end of that for sure. The slavery conversation goes, yes, I think a brilliant young scholar like you would thrive in grad school. Oof, too close. Me IRL. No, actually, the me and IRL, as far as that is, yeah. So when I was in undergrad, I was told I got an A's in most philosophy classes and said to a professor, I think I have a knack for this. I'd like to go to grad school in philosophy. And my professor said directly, yeah, Resorty, you're good, you're great, you'll thrive, you'll get your PhD, and then your butt will fit into a cab driver's seat like absolutely everyone else's. This should have discouraged me, but I somehow believed that I would be the special one. Hey, Big Vibin, you finished Lord Kelmar's playthrough. It was a fun one. I really enjoyed it also. It was a ton of fun. But yeah, I'm having a good time this new playthrough. It is a good time. Yeah, I'm glad I went to grad school. It did not work out the way I thought it would exactly, but I'm in a good position, having a lot of fun. And I gotta play video games sometimes, and that's cool too. Pepper, we're going to the torso heals up a bit. And nope, no eating raw food. Nope, nope, nope. Wait for Abernathy to cook. The rice is very close there. That's right, I'm not a cab driver. Actually, I'm a professor, right? I've actually considered reaching out to that professor and say, like, hi, I actually succeeded, kind of. But he was old and mean at that point. I expect he's even older and even meaner now. And part of that's because he got a very, very fancy PhD and then was not teaching graduate students, and that really bothered him, I believe. Murky, we need to go ahead and feed these folks. Okay. He probably doesn't even remember me. No, you can't say that. You can't say me. It's probably true. This person's been a central portion of my self-development story for decades now. You can't take that away from me by saying he's an important part of my life and I'm nothing to him. Please let me pretend that I'm the star of the show. the central portion of everyone's life. Yeah, this is that standard M. Bison line, right? The day that I came to your village and killed your father was the most important day of your life. And for me, it was Tuesday. No, I went to a very small school, so it probably is the case that he remembers me, but if he didn't, I wouldn't be exactly surprised. That said, I won an undergraduate award, and so my little name is on a plaque inside the hallway. Alright, every year on the 3rd of Jugust, the clubbers here can have a special celebration. To begin the ritual, select one of the following and begin the Club Revolution. It's not actually a revolution, i.e. political change. It's instead like Dance Dance Revolution. It's a little party time. So let's go ahead and throw our party. Alright, it's not gonna be good. It might be fun. Let's see here. We have low expectation. That's good. You have up to 10 people. We don't have anyone currently as the king of clubs, the leader of our faction. Eventually we will. If we want to, we can make this place nicer eventually. But no, Pepper's going to make a club speech. Let's see how that speech goes. Welcome everyone to the Club Revolution. Pepper arrives and begins the speechification. Club. What is the nature of club? It is club. The speech is over. The party is beginning. They all together chant club, etc. You can fill in the blanks on how that story goes. I'm noticing a bit of dirt throughout the base. Murky is still job one cleaning after the warden gets done. Look at that! The Club Revolution was done. It was fun. Everyone enjoyed it. Everyone had a good chance to relax. 34% quality, but good enough. Because of that, we now have 7 development points. So I don't exactly know how development points work. I know you need to get a certain number of them to be able to reform the religion and or a fluid ideology. Now, does anyone know for sure, is there a number I need to hit to modify the ideology, or does each modification cost a different number of points? How does that kind of thing work? Emily, your torso is still under half. Alright, do we believe that Pepper will not fail again? No, I don't want this character to die after all the good work we've done trying to enslave them. It starts with 10 and goes up from there. Okay. So we look at our ideologian thing. Hello. Yeah, 7 of 10 there. Since the ideologian is new and has so few followers on the planet, it's fluid. That means it can develop over time. Developing the ideology costs development points. We can earn these by completing rituals and quests related to the ideologion. With enough points, we can reform the ideologion with new memes, precepts, styles, and more. Every time I see memes, I want to say memes or memes to upset you all. But public executions give us more development points. Oh, right, because execution is required. Prisoners must be executed on a regular basis. When they are, it's a happy occasion. So all these ways of improving mood, I just don't think about, because they're ways I would never, ever, ever try to improve mood usually. Oh boy. So if Emily dies due to her leg being cut off again, does that count as a public execution? I don't think so, unfortunately. I do wonder if I have any spare areas marked as home zone that shouldn't be. Yeah, well, definitely out here. That's a bit of a waste of time. And yeah, over here we don't need right now. The river keeps on rolling. Doot 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 doot. Quest active. Doc's Salvation. When a character is called Doc, do we believe that they're a physician, or do they have a degree in, I don't know, higher ed administration? A prisoner is being held by the Tola Concord. Doc is being held at a camp not too far away. Rescue him and he'll join the colony. He's a 61-year-old cave world illuminator. He says there's an enemy outpost at the site with one Outlander and maybe something else. If we miss the opportunity, we'll never hear from Doc again. We know nothing of Doc. All right, where is it? Where's my base? Okay, so it's in the south, on the edge of the polluted zone. 2.1 days away. 2.1 days away. You assume they're a dwarf. Consider me happy. They might be into Bugs Bunny cartoons. Is 61 old for Rimworld? It's not ancient, but yes, it's not the kind of character you look at and say, ooh, I can't wait to have that person join my base at once. So, yeah, we probably shouldn't bother fetching them. Okay, I'm gonna... What's Murky doing? Smoking the joint. We're gonna ask Pepper to go ahead and do the cleaning now because there's no more construction for the moment. And we're gonna take Murky off of that so that Murky can focus on the growing instead. Yeah, so we're that character closer. Even at 61, we'd go for them just because more people more good at this point. But because they're so old, we're definitely not gonna do that. And for some reason, Murky's going to harvest up here, probably because the ambrosia is fully made, where the corn I'm forcing them to harvest instead of auto-harvesting. Don't you eat that! I do wonder what portion of my playthroughs is repeatedly stopping my poor characters from eating raw food. There's enough there for 2 corn meals. Unless you mean the ground kind, in which case there's enough for lots of cornmeals. Murky has just got to focus on the growing, right? The problem with the wardening. Wardening takes too long with 2 people. If I do just job 1 growing, then Murky will never get to the wardening. So we got to leave it as is on that. If I try to move someone else over to social, I believe that neither of the men are any good. Yeah, incapable on Pepper, does not know how to talk to people, and a 0. In fact, a negative, no, only 0 actually. So it really is Murky as Warden, or else. Oh, still hot. Yeah, we gotta get an AC unit in this room. We have one here, we have one here, hidden behind the tree. Absolutely love it. But over here we don't have one. Because we have... Oh, we have enough steel now. I wonder where that steel came from. I know I took apart one ancient ship piece somewhere. We didn't do any mining. So, anyway, very glad it showed up. We'll get that installed straight away, good friend Pepper. And look at our little flooring come in bit by bit by bit. I want to say by the end of today's stream, I will have flooring absolutely everywhere here, but we all know that's just not true. Oh boy, someone has heat stroke. It's Murky! Oh boy, Murky. How much heat stroke do you have? Only the tiniest initial bit. It's because they had some smoke leaf and got stoned. The heat is inside them as well as out of sight of them. It's only 35 Celsius outside. There is a mod I actually have downloaded to use both Celsius and Fahrenheit simultaneously for our viewers all around the world. But I think I'm going to stay with Celsius just because I know it makes more of you happier. Now inside the air-conditioned room, where it's 21 degrees or so, Murky has gotten over their heat stroke. And Murky's conversion talent's up now. So, go forth and order Emily to join our faith. Look here, slave. Every part of... Oh, never mind. Only down to 1.5%. However, Emily's will has now been broken by Murky. So Emily is ready to be enslaved. Bum, bum, bum. So next time the enslavement will incur, here are the kind of words that they use to cause slavery. Murky informed Emily, you'd be best off if you were submitting. I believe this one is said, resistance is futile, you will be assimilated. Murky then told Emily she should forget her aspirations. Go spend your senescence with your grandchildren? No, 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 your last days will be spent in the mining pit. Then Murky told Emily she must work or face punishment. We don't want to think about that one too much. And then threatened her with lacerations. And then more of the same. Oh boy, Murky, you're not a pleasant person. Yeah, no violence, right? You must work or here come the punishments by someone else. I won't hit you. No, the punishments must be like really judgy looks. I'll repeatedly stare at you and say, what joy, what joy, what joy. We're gonna have to have a prison, or a slave quarters also somewhere eventually. And I don't know what those have to be like. Not sure. Hello, Italian. New playthrough's going very well. It's progressing ever so slowly, but bit by bit by bit. Our stockpile room is entirely full, because the marble chunks haven't been hauled out yet. The dog should get those eventually, except that this marble chunk stack's already full. So what I'm going to do is make a second stockpile of stones a little farther away. It's of lower priority than these ones. So stones from around the map will get hauled in to be close to the base, and then these will be refilled as they run out. So we'll make 3 additional piles again for 3 kinds of necessary stone. This will be the marble pile. Oh boy, enslavement. So though enslavement's been available since Ideology came out years ago, I've never done it. So we're going to learn a new mechanic in the game right here, right now. But let me do this part first so I don't forget. So this pile is the granite. It's normal priority. The granite stockpile here will then make critical. We'll change all these to critical so that they are refilled anytime there's any opening there. So that was... Is that granite I did first? Yeah, granite is done. We then want to do one for marble and one for... Oops. Didn't deselect that first. There we go. And then one for this. We did an entire playthrough of child slaves recently. Oh, so there's explicit slavery mechanics, and I've not used those at all. There were slaves in the prior playthrough, but I didn't like beat them and demand that they do terrible jobs and keep them suppressed so they didn't have slave revolts and so on. There are mechanics involving fear, I believe. Like, you have to put human skulls on sticks and say this will happen to you if you revolt. So, yeah, we'll see how that goes eventually. Alright, so pile number 2 is for the slate, and pile number 3 is for the marble. Cool. And then we'll want to eventually put stones down so this area is free of plants regrowing, but we'll see. Hello, Artaxuria. Oh, that's not right. Artaxuria, there we go. How's it going, my friend? It's not benevolent slavery. No, it's definitely bad guy slavery all the way through. We don't want this area to be home zone, or else they'll clean it constantly. We don't care about that at all. All right, here we go. Murky told Emily she must work. Emily has agreed. Murky has enslaved Emily. Now, Emily is the name you were given before. Emily is your true name. This is your Kunta Kinte. What shall be the name that we use for you from now on? It's Toby, or Axix. Axix, I'm so sorry. Wait, maybe I shouldn't name the slaves after viewers. Are you cool with this, Axix? I don't mean to be weird and terrible, but people who are part of the community get names. Still missing a leg. Good call, Architect. Still missing a leg for sure. Do it, like a monster. Alright, so let's investigate the slave page. Suppression. Suppression is the psychological effect of fear and control on a slave. If suppression is low, slaves are more likely to rebel. Suppression fall rate is 20% per day. It falls more the higher it is. Okay. Apparel and terror affect a suppression rate. This slave's current one is 20% because of suppression. Offset for age, 0%. So I wonder if younger people are easier to keep enslaved. You keep young people enslaved by saying, you must be to school by 7:30 a.m. You must sit in your chair. You want to talk? You don't get to talk. If you want to go to the bathroom, you must raise your hand and request to make use of your vital human functions. Terror, a way to keep folks suppressed. It rises when the slave spends time near terrifying things like terror sculptures. A slave can only be affected by 3 terror sources at a time. While terror is high, suppression is slower to fall. Okay. In 1.2 years or so, we will have a slave rebellion based on the current set of things. Escape route is part of this. So I guess Axix being out and about makes them more likely to escape. So maybe we need to make a work camp. Gosh, I don't want to. All right, so that's the mechanic. There are interactions we can go with here. Suppress. Wardens periodically intimidate the slave to increase suppression level and reduce the chance of rebellion. Imprison is just locking them back up again. Emancipate, let them go free, or make them indead. Indeaden them. So right now, suppress. So the warden will go around and offer Axix unkind words from time to time. As you are, quite free and decently away from the base right now, has your rebellion increased? So escape route is still 59%. I wonder if it goes up at night, perhaps? Also, I think the more slaves you have, the higher the chance there is of a rebellion. Well, that'll definitely be a fun part of the playthrough. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Have made slave clothing. That's a good point. The slave's actually in good condition clothing right now, so we don't need to replace that. Oh, or do they get more suppression if they're wearing worse quality clothing, knowing if they leave, they'll soon be naked? Okay. Need you to need you to do what? I was thinking of something for Axix. Not sure what it was though. Oh, still wrong ideologian. Right. We need to have Murky go convert in 2.5 days. Oh, good call. I must have added here. No, this one is just stones. This one I failed to remove everything else before saying it's the spot for marble. Whoops. Move it all, just marble. This one here, I removed it all. So only this one has the problem of the wrong items there. The best slaves are wimps, but slave rolls are easy to put down. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. Poor little wimpy kid just wants to have a place to hang out. For right now, we're gonna have our slave friends sleep in the dining room. Eventually, we'll have a nice bedroom for them. Okay, I can't set it to the slave. Make it 4 slaves. Is like Dobby? Does Dobby sleep on the floor somewhere? There are slave-specific clothing. Wait, really, Harsani? I have no idea. Slave body strap and slave collar help with slave suppression. Oh, video game. Oh, video game. In some way, this feels worse than the ha cannibalism. And I think it's because of maybe like the universal taboo on cannibalism. There are very few cultures in which cannibalism is okay, no problem, or even lauded. And like these days, slavery is just seen as like such a terrible, terrible thing. So cannibals in the game, I can go, ha, it's human meat. The slavery, it's like, this is horrible. Emancipate them all? No, I'll get over it. Exposure therapy will cause me to just deal, don't you worry. Hey, it's a quest. It's a quest here. Shelter for Red. Bottle of red, bottle of white. Trout, who's the Grand Chief of the Confederacy, wants a favor. Red Cobra wants to come and learn about our culture. He heard that the previously unknown on the Rimworld practice of slavery is happening here. Red will not work. He's the anti-slave. If we accept Red, we'll get a great bow or a fancy shield pack and some plasma, or plasteel rather, or some goodwill. We don't really want to feed more mouths at this point in the game. So this would be super cool. Plasteel is very nice, but the food situation is still relatively unstable because a cursed Murky is not getting that done. Time to figure out what Axix is going to do. So does Axix still insist on being non-violent? Okay, so I knew that enslaving someone overrides certain kinds of refusal to jobs, but apparently the violence part is not one of them. So, still will not fight. Can a character who's non-violent launch a slave revolt? Like, maybe a slave protest. Please let me free. I swear I'm a person. But it's a very strange revolt. Either you give us our freedom or you will face, I don't know, very harsh commentary. So you are clearly our doctor character, and possibly the warden also. Wait, can slaves self-suppress? You'd be worried if enslaving someone make them embrace violence. I mean, I could see it as like, you will fight for us or we will beat you, right? You will take up arms in our defense or it's gonna be real bad for you. But I don't know. I don't know if it's a moral, if they're allowed to keep their morals while they're functioning as a slave character. Alright, so you're gonna doctor us, and don't you get any tricksy ideas, Axix, about using your doctoring talents for ill. We need more stockpile rooms. And also, Axix is still missing a leg. So, here, my friend, you go there. Rest until healed, no doctor. Wait, what's that mean? Okay, so you still have an install peg leg job. Oh, maybe they're not on medicine, and so can't get that. I need you to please... Do you have to assign specific doctors to slave characters? I have confused. Let's go ahead and set up this job again and see. Yeah, it is a medical bed. I mean, it's a medical bed, but slave sleeping spot for medical purposes. So it's not injured. That is correct. Add bill, right leg, peg leg. Act 6 medicine restriction, herbal medicine or worse prevents this. So Act 6, I thought I already put you on better medicine. Nope. Okay. So industrial medicine now. Still, rest until healed, no doctor. What if I get Pepper to... Cannot operate in Act 6, not ready for surgery. If I wake you both up... How about now? Not ready for surgery still. So there's something different with how medical treatment on slaves works. Too low of doctor skill on other pawns? So definitely Pepper made an attempt at putting a leg on this person before. Like, technically speaking, no. They definitely can do the doctoring. It's just not likely to work out. Yeah, that's weird. I wonder if sleeping spots on the floor won't work for this purpose. We'll try again in a little bit. Something seems slightly strange there. Alright. Stones are getting made. No food, no food, no food. Yeah, the food pile has not been refilled at all. We do have ambrosia, though, so we won't starve as long as we have ambrosia to eat. That's fine, but we'll need to go ahead and set up a few more, just making some meals. Any zone restrictions? The only zone right now is for my dog not to go in these rooms. Is slave not allowed the medicine? There we go. I have no idea what was necessary, but Pepper figured it out. Don't kill her. Don't kill her. Hey, another fail. Hey, another torso destroyed. Down to 1 point this time. Last time, Pepper dropped it to 2 points. Oh, Pepper. Oh, Pepper. Pepper gonna clean dirt instead of tending here. No, 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 get tending you. Oh, poor Pepper. You got some more medical skills at least. Closer and closer to level 4. Yeah, definitely going the wrong direction on that. Okay, actually Abernathy is slightly better at doctoring. 4 skill versus 3 skill. No infections, you're gonna be fine. Thank you for the assistance. We also had another pop-up of there being more raider activities in the world. So, this is food, 123 chocolate. This is food, 334 potatoes. So as of right now, we don't have any hauling animals. And I don't think we have anyone who's decent at animal handling. Pepper's actually a 6, not too bad. This character though, King Hool, is a 14 animals. So once King Hool joins us, we'll invite King Hool to have one of the elephants join as well. And then we'll use that elephant to carry potatoes and other nice things around. Hey, it's a raid! So this is one of the groups I was just thinking about attacking. Just thinking about going and taking their chocolate. But didn't get there yet. So a group of Eda Keen are coming on by. There are people who have relationship with the colonists or the prisoners. It's the son of Kin Hool, Kin Hirzerk. I wonder if the kin part is the familial names. That's nice. Now we have 5 people in his base, of whom 2 can fight. So hopefully it's a single person. If it's 2, this might be rough. It's 3. It's 3. They're all melee. Okay, this is definitely more than we can actually factually deal with. We will do the emergency thing. Yeah, having two non-violent characters at this point, not ideal. So time to throw up some spike traps. And then maybe fight them in a doorway also. Yeah, that's the correct call here. All right, Pepper, let's get to it. Doesn't that xenotype have extra melee damage? So the Neanderthals, I believe, do. And that's what Pepper is. Yeah, strong melee damage, moves slowly, but fight, fight, fight. And then, how about the Edakeen? Also strong melee damage. They're sleepy though, so yeah. They're robust also, so they take less damage overall. Where Pepper's kind is lowered pain, so we'll fight longer before going down. Exciting. One kind of melee berserker folk against another. This is fine. It's all fine. I should probably make a zone here to make sure everyone stays close to the base, but I'm fairly sure we will. They're far enough away, it'll be okay. Now, because they're robust, there's a real possibility that they won't go down to these traps. We may have to fight them all the way through. And that's okay. That's okay. The puppy dog can be set up to fight also, so we're going to request that. And hopefully get the Peppy inside to help with meleeing on this side here. I think that'll work out. This is me perhaps being slightly more confident than I should be. But we'll see what happens. I should have someone hauling all the wood over instead of my construction people and run back and forth over and over again. Also, the food situation is what it continues to be. They're beginning to attack now. So we should probably get inside. Let Murky bring the wood over, and then everybody else go ahead and get in here. I'm going to lock Axix inside so they don't accidentally go out and cause troubles. There's enough wood here for Pepper to make this one very quickly. Murky, make this one very quickly. Oh, where are you going? This one does not have enough wood yet. So just make this one instead. Greedy, greedy, greedy. Greedy, greedy. It's not going to happen. We'll go inside as well. The dog should be closer. Okay. Abernathy, come on down. I actually want Pepper at the very middle of this here. The door should have been held open. I forgot that part. Now it is. Okay, we'll see how this goes. They managed to miss all of the traps first one in. Still two more going. Hey, a good stun to get things started. Well done, well done. Heat stroke going. Cut in the neck. While stunned, we attack again and again. Puppy, get inside. Puppy, get inside. Okay, Puppy decided to go outside. Yeah, the hope was that Puppy would stand right here and help us fighting, but Puppy drew the attention of the animal and had its tail immediately ripped off. All right. Puppy for you, anything. Abernathy can't figure out how to get to this area here, so we actually ask Abernathy to go through. And now all attack here. So far, the only person really damaged is Silent. Good stuff. Abernathy, you took a little bit of damage there. One cut in the ear. Is this a new cut scar? I think that's a new cut scar, isn't it? Yeah. Nope, that's Abernathy doing so. Okay, so no, this must be an old cut scar. I don't remember there being. Cool. Now, we did end up killing this character, who is the son of our prisoner over here. And as you see, the prisoner felt a strange disturbance in the force, as if one voice cried out in terror, and then was silent. So, Kinul is bummed that his son died. Your own flesh and blood is now blood on the floor. And then silent, did you only lose your tail? That's good. It makes you more aerodynamic. You won't be able to express joy ever again, but at least you run a little faster now. All right. I'm gonna take the skull of our prisoner's son. I don't know how skull extraction works, but this is fine. This is fine. Okay. It does have a name. I thought it would be like random skull, but it is the Skull of Kinwat. I wish I could rename it. Now, how do I make a skull pole? I think I was adding an ideology, right? The skull spike. A spike mounted upright for the purpose of piercing and displaying a human skull. To some, displayed skulls are a symbol of power. To others, the idiots, skulls are a vision of barbaric evil. They're especially brutal and effective way to terrorize the slaves. But also a gibbet cage. A steel cage for holding and displaying corpses. This horrifying sight inspires terror and disgust in observers. A brutal way to terrorize slaves as well. Cool. Cool. Alright. Steel skull spike in the middle of the road. Alright. Does it take construction skill? I suspect it does. So Pepper, go make that. I'm not going to put it in the freezer there. That feels like a very unsporting way of behaving towards our folks here. And we'll go ahead and move Bed in for Axix. Great. Kind little reminder of when this person did not join us. There it is. There it is. There it is. Nothing special about it except for it's his skull permanently. Now I wonder if Kindle sees it, if he'll care, or once he joins our ideologian, will he actually be glad to see it, not knowing whose it is? Curiosity of curiosities. Axix still has no leg. We'll give another shot once their torso is healed up entirely. And I'm going to take Axix off of the fancy medicine. Oh, also, Murky, go ahead and... Oh, not yet. No conversion yet. So, is Axix becoming more and more secure in their faith, or does the whole slavery thing cause them to have some doubts? They are gaining more certainty in their faith. I may have to throw them back in prison here to get them to change ideologians, but we'll see. We'll see if Murky can pull it off. Hey, Two Fat Crowds, how's it going? Look at that, friends. There's some 2 free Steam keys in chat. One for Greedfall and one for Wasteland 3. Two Fat, thank you very much for those. I won't take them. I think I have both those games, but if anyone in chat wants to grab one of them, that'd be pretty cool. And Two Fat, thank you very much. I appreciate that kind of generosity very, very much. And if every extra Steam keys, feel free to share them with everybody. Axix has had a mental break. Serious pain from being beaten by Pepper Shirley. Also quite starving. Also quite having a bad day. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, Axix. We'll take good care of you in the future. The food issue. Alright, once more with the food issue. Everything's been replanted, thank goodness, but not the potatoes yet. We may need to have someone else help out with the planting, because it's just not getting done. However, now I wonder what kind of meat these characters give. Right, they look like they're wild animals. I assume they give human meat, though. Yes, they produce human meat because there are no aliens in game, right? Everything that looks like a human is a human. So, No Ida Keen meat, unfortunately. How great would it be to Ida and Ida Keen? The Ida Keen Eatery. Perfection. Abernathy and Pepper need to go beat something again. Let's find an animal. It's not too far away. Oh, actually Ambrosia there. That'd be nice. That'd be nice. Do I ever use nutrient paste? No. I guess in this base we definitely could. And like I know that nutrient paste is the most efficient way to produce any kind of decent food. We were totally fine on food until we picked up 2 prisoners so quickly. Oh boy, we found the big berry patch. It's time to get big numbers of berries. Some of you will recall that in a YouTube video a while back we did 9 of these in a row. That said, that was at I think 1 plant skill as opposed to 7, so almost 8. A employable professional. Good. I got a quest called the Deserter. So we already refused to join the Empire, and I've never before gone against the Empire. So this time, I believe we're gonna do so. Now this is yet another person, and we do not have a base set up for yet another person. However, Justinian Cellus, a loyal Janissary, is calling from nearby. He's deserted the army of the Exodus Empire, is being hunted by a loyalty squad. He wishes to join the Club. Cellius knows the location of key outposts containing everything needed to develop psychic powers. Be ye aware, if you accept Cellus, he'll become an enemy of the Exodus Empire. We'll have 1 trooper to fight for now. Only except we wish to fight the Exodus Empire and develop Psycasters on our own. We'll have 1 year to attack the outpost before it moves along. Alright, it's 1 year to get ready to go fight the Empire. Let's do it to it. Hello to you, Janissary Cellus. What kind of person are you? We have an assault rifle now. Industrious and delicate, good with animals, good with fighting. No social skills because he's mute, in fact. Has a death acidifier, so if he dies, all of his items are destroyed. Can those be removed? We can remove his tongue. Also, he's a teetotaler. I actually didn't notice that. Wait, he doesn't say teetotaler here. Is that because of his doctrine? Female supremacist. He's a male. Cool. So this is a story about humanity and then the Architects. So they're loyal to AI types. And we think drug use is absolutely disallowed. Yes, medicinal only drug use. So not even tasty ambrosia. Women are allowed to have 2 spouses. We like child labor. Yeah, definitely got to change this person's faith, but for right now, they are part of the old community. And they'll be in charge of animal handling. Hopefully we can get ourselves some elephants pretty soon. They're another terrible doctor. And then do the hauling and cleaning for right now. But first, while you're down there, please harvest this. Now, this person needs a name. So thank you very much, Chip Larone, for resubbing today. Old Chip, not sure if you're here still, but let's go ahead and put you in the game. You are our previously loyal member of the Empire, and now you're joining us with your fancy armor, and your fancy gas mask, and your fancy assault rifle, and all the rest of us hanging out with basically nothing. Alright, welcome to the Loyalty Squad. They're hunting down good old Justinian down there. His name is Palaiologos. He has basically the same outfit as Chip Larone, except he also has a fancy helmet on, and 1 super fancy medicine. He's 13 in shooting. Wait, so we got a baseliner, and they sent a hussar? We did not get lucky there. I would love to have this character fighting for us, but no luck. He's an acidifier also, so he'll lose all of his stuff. Alright, how are we going to help this guy? How on earth are we going to help this guy? Like I said, I've never chosen this event before, so I didn't realize he'd be a fully outfitted assault person against us. We can try to break line of sight and bring him in close where our meleeers will set upon him. I think that is the thing to do here. But we have a little bit of time while he prepares to come for the person he's chasing down. Yeah, it'll be good. Murky can almost convert again. And then Axix is out wandering. I really hope that the assault character from the Empire does not go shoot Axix immediately, but we'll see. Hey, Out Blue, what happened to the mountain base? If you do ! Last base, you will find out what happened to the last base on the Rimworld playthrough. It was a real good time. We really enjoyed ourselves, but it ended in absolute glory, I promise. We have a ton of blocks. Fantastic. So the slate is increasingly close to finished. We want to begin, actually making more rooms. And this will be the first one, but more and more is coming soon. Okay. Against a ranged character, there's probably no good way to use these traps unless we distribute them farther out. We could set up some kind of cover. I don't think we need it though, because I have two meleeers who can rush out and engage them at once. Like I said, the problem with Axix though. Axix back inside. That's good stuff. Okay, I want to move this bed. I said it's for Axix, but we now have a real person here as opposed to our slave person. So we'll reinstall this into the old bunker area. Let's see what's going on. Silent is fully healed. Look at that. Happy puppy. All functional once more. Dude is still preparing for his assault. Maybe we'll knock him out but not kill him. He is not absolutely loyal to his faction. So there is a possibility that he will drop and then join us. That'd be pretty cool. Our first ever Hussar. And he does not have Go Juice. So we have to find a way to get that for him. Were we to attempt to keep him around. Alright, these trees must go for sure. And so I need to expand the slate flooring here. I think I did with slate flooring inside, then outside we're doing slate flagstones instead. Unfortunately this part cannot be made into slate anything because it has soft ground. So we'll put a little bit of bridge across the way. And then cover that with wood in a moment. All right, one spot right here could be slate or anything else. We'll just put some wood flooring in, which hopefully will look nice. I hope that the floors don't look overly patchwork. You coming on down? Okay, they began their assault. So, absolutely everybody, we're putting this room for now. Please stay inside Axix. Chip Leroy is the one they're looking for. I'm gonna Chip outside. Yeah, you looking for me? You looking for me, punk? Yeah, stay behind a tree there. Pathologos moves forward, or Palologos, using their fine imperial training. I must find the traitor. I must kill this traitor. This traitor stands against everything I believe in. Oh, I see him. He's right up that way. I see him out there, coming for me. He's haunting my dreams now. I'll haunt his lifetime. Forward, forward, forward. Oh, shoot. Firing expand. Video game. fire exchange between the two men. Chiplerone gets shot in the head immediately. I swear we were undercover. I swear. Oh, gosh. All right, fine. Things they are unlucky. All right, here they come. And so he's moving forward again. More cover, more good. All right, Chip drop behind. Oh, I left all these doors open. Whoops. So they're now shooting at Pepper through the door and hit him. Holy cow. Yeah, what is happening? Look at that shot. I understand it's a very good shooter, but that's absurd. Pepper, close that door. Pepper gets shot again. Wow. I know assault rifles can be OP, but that's a little ridiculous. Abernathy, just real quick, we'll go ahead and heal up our little friend here. I had such good ideas on how we're going to handle this, but... okay, tend on floor. Fine. The door is shutting now. Fine also. Did I send Pepper forward without actually marking the please close door? Door is please being closed. Cool. Alright. So, he moves forward again. Bump, 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 bump. Now, this was the plan the entire time. As he comes around the door, I shook on that tree. Here comes Pepper. Here comes Pepper and Abernathy. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going, man? That's not how it's planned. Oh, he found a corner. Well, this is gonna work out just fine. Alright, Abernathy gets hit a little bit. Now in melee. Now he's a hussar, so he has very good melee skill also. And down he goes. Alright. Oh, that was almost a disaster, my friends. It was almost real bad. So he went down and died due to Chiplerone smashing him in the torso. I'm actually a little surprised at how quickly he pivoted over here. It was before he reestablished line of sight with Chiplerone back here. So I'm guessing it's the case that the AI knew he was here, and so just set up the defensive line of sight, or broke line of sight. Anyway, good job. A little more damage taken than intended, but that's alright. It's alright. Gunshot to the head, definitely not okay. Axis is still wandering around unhappily. We're going to invite this to be a medical bed for the moment, just to run everyone through and get them healed up. So Chip, we go here. And Pepper, you're bleeding into your bed. We'll have you go and self-tend, thank you. And then we're going to have Chip make sure he's getting no medicine. Oh, the Glitterworld medicine on the floor there was unfortunately destroyed by the death acidifier. Is that true? No, it's actually on the floor. Only items worn and held are destroyed. We do have one very fancy medicine for emergency, emergency healing in the future. 14 hours there, 16 hours here. I really thought I had a strategy figured out. Anyway, now that we're hostile to the Empire, which again I've never seen before, I am so concerned what they're going to send at us. I think the Empire definitionally has very, very strong weapons. And, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Hey, Axis is back with us again. So Axis is out doing doctor stuff. Taking care of the puppy first. Oh, poor Silent. Poor Silent. How do you have a bite scar? Huh. I actually don't remember Silent being bit by anything. No idea. Everybody lives. It's all good. Friends, it's just after noon my time. On the weekends, I tend to only stream until now because I want to go hang out with my wife. And, yeah, today was a ton of fun. I don't think we got very much done, but I really enjoyed myself. You might notice the batteries are running down, so we'll have to get more power production going soon. I may have some major problem in the work queue, and I don't know what it is, but we'll figure that out presently. So don't forget, we're going to go ahead and rescue Murky, and then we'll say goodbye. Yeah, that's right, lots of medical skill training today. The possibilities in building up here. We now have more than enough people to, to keep everyone, get all the work done. Now it's just a matter of keeping them all alive and getting them fed. So bigger fields coming next time. More hunting coming next time. Chiplerone has a fancy gun, and that's very good. Tomorrow I'm off. Tomorrow's my Sunday, so I'll be hanging out with Noms and more rightly doing endless amounts of grading. I have 50-some exams to get through real quick. Monday, my Monday, your Sunday, I'll be back with some more Crusader Kings 3. It should be a lot of fun when we get there, and thank you for hanging out. Thank you for being part of my lovely, fun morning here. Thanks for the follows, thanks for the subscriptions, thanks for watching the ads and lurking and chatting and whatever you did. It was a bunch of fun. See you again very soon. Goodbye, goodbye. Go confuse a store clerk by asking them a President's Day sale. Is it President's Day? Happy President's Day, Americans. See you soon.